All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another broadcast of the American Reaching Mahjong League. Nathaniel here to cover what looks to be another A1 table with Lucas, Andre, Leon, and Jonathan. We're up to session 4, halfway through the season. Looks like a couple of tables have already gotten started. One table even finishing all their games last night. And it's getting really spicy in the A1 division. Simon in the lead for now with 4 games to play. Dustin dropped down a bit after playing a couple. And the current players, Lucas and Andre, are a little bit out of range right now, but hoping to catch up with these games tonight. Our first dealer is Leon. To the right, Andre. Across the table, Lucas. And on the left, Jonathan. Looks like the door is the east. Toyman, Lucas, a really nice hand, calls the Yakuhai Hatsu, has a pair of the door in hand as well. Anticipating potential Mongon there if you can find a third east. And there's a chance that the hand turns into Honitsu for Hanuman Plus. Our dealer, though, awkward shapes currently as Lucas finds Tempai and will maintain the Tempai, not being too greedy with this hand. On the right, Andre aiming for a Ricci, 2 away from Tempai. On the left, we have Jonathan, another slow building hand. No one certainly matching the speed that Lucas is putting out. The weight's a little bit tricky, though, with the 8-pin being discarded once already. And, of course, the East is a rather dangerous tile to discard at this point in the game. However, the player who declares Ricci might be vulnerable here. Andre opens up. Tanyao now. Ishanten aiming to shut this down with a cheap hand. Jonathan finds Ishanten as well. Players meeting at about the same time at Tempai. Andre finds 5-8 Mon for 1,000 points. Oh, but he draws the east. Does he dare throw this out against the open hand? Does not. Unwilling to jam. We'll try to find Tempai another way. 3-pin first. Could have also maintained Tempai discarding the 5 Mon, but perhaps he's hoping to pair up the east and maybe even find a third one and actually win the hand. Leon finds Tempai drawing the last 8-pin, and that means that he won't be dealing in quite yet. Actually, that was Ishanten, otherwise the 8-pin from Toyman would have dealt in. And instead the 6 comes out. Oh, it's going to sting a little bit. Only 3,900. But Andre successfully dodging the east deal in for Mongon. And Lucas gets off to the good start. Alright, Andre now in the dealer seat. And as I learned from experience in our past series, Andre in the dealer seat is a scary proposition. Somehow always seems to find Mongon Plus. We'll see if we can pull it off again in this game. Hand looks like it wants to be a Ricci Pinfu. There are hedges for Itsu and the Sozu. And even if you don't quite get there, force of draw later will find Tanya as well, potentially. On the right, Lucas building with potential 789 Sanchoku. That's a little bit unlikely, though, given the 6-0 already in hand. Perhaps Richinomi for him. Across the table, there is a Dora Hatsu in hand. Another hand that looks like it wants to be Pinshu, except for the fact that the door is sitting there. Maybe an outside chance at a 1-2-3 Sanchoku. On the left, Leon with multiple pairs. I'm seeing 4 of them. We'll see if that hand develops into a Chitoi, or perhaps shifts more towards a standard hand. A 2-mon would certainly help push this towards a typical Ricci. Andre still in about the same position where we left. Forgoes the Pinzu Kanchan, says I like my shapes elsewhere. We'll need to find has multiple candidates for a head. We'll need to determine which one actually ends up being the pair. There's that 2 mon, but Leon still maintains all of the pairs in hand. It's always a little bit tricky when a dragon is the Dora. We see Lucas discarding it now twice, aiming for Tanya instead. Great pickup for Andre. Now he has to make a decision. With the 5 pin already gone, this 5 so a discard implies that the 6 mon's likely to be the head. Unless we draw a mon tile around this 6 mon. That 5 so discard also will put Lucas into tempo on the right, waiting for the 5 mon, Tanya only. There is a shift that Lucas can make with the 4 mon draw to a 6-7 diamond, where the 8 mon would give Sanchoku as well. And if you draw the 8 mon here, you can also switch to Tonki wait with the Sanchoku confirmed. Tap I found for Jonathan across the table would be Richinomi waiting on the 2 pin. Doesn't like that idea when there's a chance at Sanchoku perhaps, or just a better weight. So he'll hold the Dama for at least a turn. Andre now playing multiple pin blocks. Considering this, I think it might be a little too early to call for K10, but will not matter as Lucas finds the 5 mon. The only winner so far in this game, 2 hands in a row, will move us to his dealership. This is an interesting high pie. 5 pairs is Chito Ishanten already. Just trying to decide if there's any route towards a normal hand. We'll just hold all of the blocks with the 1 so cut. Door is the 8 pin. And we see 1 in the hand to the right. Jonathan with 3 pairs as well. And Anko now with the 1 pin. Perhaps a Ricci hand for him. Across the table, Leon working towards a Ricci, perhaps Ricci Pinfu, Ricci Itsu maybe. And the Sosu should the proper Sotiles be drawn. Maybe we can also work towards 2-3-4 Sanchoku. A lot of options for this hand. And Andre, a lot of mon tiles. 3-4 pairs as well. So we'll see if this hand turns into Honitsu, perhaps Chitoi, depending on what comes to hand. I feel like a lot of times we'll just cut the 7-so, 7-so and move towards Chitoi. And that's exactly where Lucas finds himself. Chitoi, Ricci, waiting on the Hatsu, which is immediately drawn by Jonathan, but he dodges for the time being. His discards are rather suspicious. 1-so, 5 mon, 3-so, 2 mon, 8 mon. Nothing in the Pinzu has come out. Oh, the Hatsu will come out as Jonathan finds Ishanten. Ricci, Chitoi, Uda 2, and Lucas cannot stop winning hands. A Mungan will put him in a dominating position in this game. Opens up another reasonably strong hand as the dealer again with a Dora 6 mon acceptance and a Hatsu pair for speed. On the right, Jonathan looking to build something that will make up the lost points. Perhaps Junchan Sanchoku is potential here. Potentially the option. That 6 pin rather. Not the best draw for that type of hand, but at least offers some flexibility. Across the way with a collection of soap tiles. And Yakuhai West could be potential Honitsu. You have to at least consider it with this number of tiles. Oh, and that 9-so is a great pickup for the potential Honitsu. Andre to the left opening up quickly with a pay, and currently 2 away from Tempai. Is relying on the 3-so to come out. If Leon is indeed going for Honitsu, Andre might have to wait a little bit longer than he might normally expect. Lucas ends up cutting a 3-2-1 pin as a result of giving up on a Kanchan. That's okay, we have diamond shapes everywhere else. Most likely this 7 mon will not be used in the hand, but it affords us some flexibility should we draw the 6 mon in the near future. Leon will take the Tempai, currently west only, but if he draws a good Sotile, he will probably consider cutting the 1 mon pair. He's probably a little bit concerned with the fact that 2 other players are open though, and so yeah, he takes the win for 1000. You can of course call Pon there, discard the 1 mon, and any mon tile, or any So tile rather, will be Tenpai for Honitsu Yakuhai. But again, due to the speed of the other players, just took the points where he could find them. Jonathan now in the dealer seat, East 4. This is a great spot to pick up some points. Some very nice shapes in the Manzu and the Sozu, as well as multiple pairs again. But I have the feeling he'll be aiming for a... Well, I thought he would aim for a normal hand. With the Dora Chun pickup, now you more strongly consider things like Honitsu and Chi Toitsu. So 7 pairs on the mind. We'll pass the first West, though. Perhaps call the second one. 9-mon discarded, so maybe we're moving away from Honitsu ideas. In the meantime, Leon already Tenpai on the right for what would be Richinomiya, although no Richi declared because he sees an opportunity at a lot more value with potential Itsu Pinfu in the Manzu. I mean, a 4-mon draw here would be excellent for a 3-sided weight. And even the 9-mon draw is quite strong as well.
Each.
Waits 1 turn, slams it. 8-mon 2-pin. Shabo is one of each tile has, there is one of each tile on the wall. Jonathan in last place as dealer wants to fight this, but has to shove a couple dangerous tiles. Starts with a 5-pin and it passes. It's always a little frustrating when you make the hard decision to jam a tile against a Ricci and it immediately gets clear. This is Tenpai winning on the 4-mon, but it's not a good wait. And decides to wait a little bit longer, pressing with the 5-mon. This is aggression from Jonathan. We'll have to contend with another Ricci. Finds Tenpai and he'll just smash it. The 3-mon pass to the right, and it passes on the left as well. On the left, we have Richinomiya waiting 5-8. Mano Mia Patsumo! Oh, and Leon looks at that tile and says, it was my 8-mon. But 3 and 40 will be 4,000 total. And Jonathan will eat the Oyakaburi here as well as the Ricci stick donation. Very unfortunate, as he fought quite hard to be able to contend for the points in this hand. Now, after losing the Ricci stick and eating 1,000 points of sumo loss, dips below 30,000, but still in second place here. He has the dealership once again in the South round. South pair in hand. Dora is the 1-pin. Nothing of the sort currently in hand. Very, very slow looking hand. We'll see how the draws move this. Haku draw makes me think of Honitsu, and Leon moving that direction as well, starting with the 6-pin. Andre on the right pulls in another tile on the 258 Monsuji. Looks like that hand wants to be a Ricci Dora. Maybe Ricci Pinfu Dora if you can find the 3-so. Leon opening up with the Haku. Discards an honor tile, so not yet committed to Honitsu. We technically have enough blocks, but they're weak ones. Lucas across the way might be considering pin Honitsu, but that honor pair is not Yakuhai.
Chi.
And there it is, Tenpai found for Leon. Again, we've seen this pretty consistently, not just in this game, but throughout the season. Willing to take the speedy Tenpai rather than going a little bit more slowly for value. And here he has the Hakunomi. It will be a bump in Fu, though, due to the 9-mon Anko. And I imagine if a 9-mon does come out from any player, we might see a con with the quality weight here. And because the 1-pin is a little bit difficult for other players to use in their hand. Tenpai found on the left, and oh no, that 6-mon's got to come out. We'll deal into the Tosuke Tanyao. Right tile coming out, though. Jonathan will pick up 1,000 points back. We move over to Andre. Again, an Andre dealership is always a scary dealership. Saipai looks like it might have a little bit difficulty coming together. But there is that floating 9-pin Dora to try to build around. It's always difficult to build around a terminal tile, though. Oh, there it is, the East pair. And that will give Andre some additional speed for this hand. Lucas on the right. Classic Ricci looking hand. Can accept the Dora 9-pin. Across the way, Jonathan. Ishan 10 actually, but with bad shapes. Kanchan, Dian Khan. Hoping to improve those before he has to slam a Ricci. And ooh, that gives Ipeco shift. So the Dian Khan moves down a little bit, can still accept the 2-pin in the 4-mon. 4-pin rather, where you really want the 2-pin, of course. We have Dian Shantan on the left for Leon. More Kanchans in that hand, but there's so many draws that will improve these shapes. I'm not feeling too bad if I'm Leon here about the Kanchans. Andre's still looking for that east. It's somewhere in the wall. And there it is, the 4-mon. Jonathan will slam a Ricci with the Pseudo Trap 2-pin. Ricci Ipeco. Two tiles left in the wall for this weight, and Andre will have to think about how to defend against this. Says the 8-pin is Ricci Suji, but with this early 7-pin, it seems less likely to deal in. But jams the 9-pin, trusting the 7-5 cut in that order that the upper pins will be clear. That still could deal into 9-pin Shabo, but with one 9-pin discarded already, seemed less likely. We'll see if Andre's able to fight for this. Leon as well, sort of playing the Mawashi game. Draws the deal-in tile, but that's Tempai? No, it's got a quad of 4s in hand. Do you discard a 6? Do you con the 6-pin? Maybe they trust the 1 chance 8, so okay. Trust the 1 chance. A tough spot for Leon. No, that's back to Tempai, but it's 50-10. 5-8-pin. Just throws it back. Andre has a pair of 8-so to cut. And Lucas Ishanten, but the Sozu looks so bad against this discard pawn that he can't really jam this 1-so. Oh, but there's an East Anko, and that is Tempai. Two of the 2-so rather are out, and he'll push the 1, and horse passes. Andre will try to fight for K10 with a pawn. And Lucas with Dabunan and Dora Chance holds the Dama, believing that the other players will remember that the 9-pin was Genbutsu to Jonathan, but sumos it instead. Missed opportunity for a monster, a Hanemon, but finds the Mangan anyway. And Lucas will be content with that, absolutely, with this monstrous lead. 62,000 points. And this high pie, very reasonable as well. All these pin draws are making me a little excited about the potential value in this hand. Let's play this very straightforward, though. There's a chance at 6-7-8 Sanchoku if we could draw around the Manzu. We did see an early call on the left from Andre. The idea being Sanchoku Doko with the 9s, a very rare hand. Would be awesome to see it come to fruition, though. And there's a world where Lucas ends up dropping this 9-pin. You can easily see that come out after drawing a 2-pin or 3-pin. On the right, Jonathan with Tanyo type blocks. Would love to be able to clear Ricci for extra value. And across the way, Leon sitting Ishanten headless. Pseudo headless. We could consider the 2-mon to be ahead. So I guess we can say perfect Ishanten. Here's that 2-pin. How does Lucas want to play this? Cuts away from the Mon block, perhaps eyeing up the possibility of moving towards Chinitsu. It is also just an awkward Kanchan. There's another pin tile. 2 away from Tempai here for Chinitsu. Oh, interesting pawn option. We'll take it. All right, we're playing. Now, the 2-pin came out already on the left, so we can't Chi 1, 2, 3. There are no more 2 pins remaining. However, 3-pin is a viable Tanki here if we can find a 7-pin. And unfortunately for Andre, none of the 9s have come out. Definitely not going to see it from Lucas anytime soon. But there's the 9-mon from Leon.
Pawn.
Pawn. And presumably, one of these Conchons will be cut. Goes with the Sozu option. Overlaps a little bit. The upgrades at least overlap with the lower So block. Whereas for Andre, the 4-mon draw is excellent. There's an 8-pin for Lucas. A wider Ishanten now for dealer Chinitsu.
Each.
We're gonna have to contend with the Ricci from Leon, waiting 3-6. So not much to defend with here for Andre. So he starts with the 8. That will pass. Jonathan considering calling into Tempai, but that's going to deal in. Tanyao potential Sanchoku will lose out to Ricci, Pinfu, Tanyao. That's 3,900 going Leon's way. It's been a rough game for Jonathan, but he still has one dealership remaining to recuperate some of those points. This Haipai a little bit on the weak side, but it's got blocks, and blocks can turn into sets, which leads to Ricci, which leads to points. And there's a door in hand as well. Never count out the value in hand if you have a Dora. On the right, Leon perhaps willing to just take Yaku High Call and aim for 1,000 points to get over 30,000 and finish with a positive score. This season, Leon has done extremely well to avoid last place and squeak out some positive points whenever he can. 7 third places and only 1 fourth. That's quite strong.
Quite
strong fourth avoidance. Andre has the Haku. Will it come out eventually? Seems to be aware that Leon is Ishanten and desperately in need of the Haku right now. Andre 2 away. On the left, Lucas also reasonably close to Tempai. Could call for a Tanyao. There's the Haku Tempai on 8-mon, 8 So. Three tiles in the wall for this weight. We'll get a bump and foo on Sumo. Jonathan has been desperately working these shades, but you look at that discard pile and you can see the wall has not been kind. There's a clear path now. 3-pin or 7-pin draw.
Chi.
7-pin Chi from Lucas. Ishanten now. The worst shape in Andre's hand is this 6-8-mon Conchon. And calling for Tanyao is probably not enough. He wants a Ricci to be able to surpass Leon for second place. Khan. Jonathan looking for some points. Reveals 2-mon to be Dora, and that makes Andre's hand massive. Now he'll call. He has now accomplished his Mongon goal. However, Lucas draws the 5-pin. Anko Tempai now. 5 So, 8 So. Tanya only the 8 So comes out as Leon switches the weight to 6-9 So, and Lucas continues the dominance of this game. Will finish with 64,000 points plus 54, the only player above 30,000. And we're going to see the standings shaken up a bit. We have a new contender for the top of the league now after one game. Lucas took control. Leon with the second place, minus 2.1. Andre, negative 14.4 for a third. And Jonathan, minus 37.5. And that does dip him into the demotion zone temporarily. I say temporarily because there's still a lot of the season left to go. We even have a lot of this series yet to go. Unclear as to how many games they will be playing. But I do know they have already started the next game. And in just a minute, we'll be able to spectate that. Yeah, very strong play from Lucas. Very straightforward. That Chinitsu Creed worked out well. Winning dealer manga on Chitoya always helps. And yeah, if you like what you're seeing from Lucas, you'll definitely want to tune in tomorrow. The 2023 Arnold Championship will begin. Lucas will be one of the contenders for the championship title. See, that's a 5:30 Pacific time start, so you definitely want to tune in then. I'll have some great coverage of that. All right, just a minute off from this one starting. This time it will be Lucas in the starting dealer seat, Andre to the right, Leon across the table, and Jonathan on the left. Four, 4-4-4-1 for Lucas. Great this season. I've had the opportunity to play both Lucas and Dustin in the same series. Not surprising to see them neck and neck in the current standings. All right, we are underway. Lucas, the first dealer, has a difficult hand to start. It'll be very much wait and see what the tiles can give you sort of endeavor. The right, Andre, another challenging high pie. That 2-5-8 in the Monzu, always a little bit difficult to work with. Kanchan, Penchon in the Pinzu as well. Tough to find tiles. Across the way, Leon, much better looking high pie. Has the makings of Pinfu, maybe Tanya, maybe Ipeiko. Door acceptance in the form of a 1-pin would be ideal. On the left, Jonathan does have a 1-pin. Oh, and great fill with the Penchon 7-pin draw. And that will put him 2 away from Tempa. I would love to pair up Adora. Get some serious value out of this hand. Lucas, aiming to repeat his dealer, will open up, take the Chi of the bad shape. And also cheese the diamond here, leaving the 4-so as the tile that remains in hand. Had the option to call 4, 5, 6 as well. But the 4-so just a better floating tile for potential diamond draw. And he'll play maximum efficiency now. No safety retained in hand. Playing for the win. And that 4-pin was the indicator that he would make this sort of move. Andre's hand has improved so rapidly. Anko of North drawn. The Kanchan in the Penchon in the Pinzu field with the 7-pin. And this is just Ishanten. Kutsuki Ishanten waiting around this 5-so and 5-mon. I wonder which tile is better to keep between the 4-pin, the 5-mon, and the 5-so.
Each.
We have Ricci on the left. Jonathan, and pairing up the 2-so, will slam Ricci Penfu, waiting 6-9. So there are 3 tiles left in the wall. They are all 9-so. Now Andre,
Long.
plays out half Suji, but that will deal into 3900 with the Ipatsu. And will move us to Andre's dealership. This time, Jonathan up with a good start. This high pie looks reasonably strong with 4, 5, 6 Sanchoku possible. And now another diamond shape. So we have all the blocks we need to win. We'll just go ahead and cut that Penchon immediately. Leon on the right also looking quite strong. 2 away from Tempai there. Potential 5. Oh, okay, 5, 6, 7 Sanchoku's a little bit difficult because we need to find a pair from one of these blocks. There is a route to it, but it is a little bit tricky to end up massaging your hand to have the proper shapes. Jonathan has a callable hand across the table and Adora. Perhaps you can call and aim towards Adora Tonki. We'll hold out for Ipeiko chance, the upper Monzu as well. And Luke's on the left. Very standard shapes looking for Ricci. A lot of conchons to fill. Although that Formon certainly improves one of those bad shapes. Andre now sits Ishanten. Could theoretically call that 3-pin for Atosuke Tenpai, but he wants to do a little bit better than Sancho Konomi, and I can't blame that. So much potential in his hand. Pair found for Leon. Now Ishanten for Ricci Pinfu, potentially Peiko. Lucas opening up twice. Aggressively, Tanyo. Ishanten. It'll be hard for him to find that 5-pin, though. So we can see they are all held and locked into hand. We're going to see a Ricci from Andre. Ricci with potential Sanchoku on the 4-so. There are no 7-so left in the wall. Only 4-so, and there are 2 of those. Leon starts with the Nakasuji 6-so. Jonathan will fight with the Dora. Just jams it out there. Atosuke for the east. And those are both in the wall. That's aggressively fighting for your hand against a dealer Ricci. Oh, draws the wrong side. Drew the 4-so instead. And now what do you do? Is it east-east? Goes to the 4-pin. Starts playing Genbutsu. Can still call the east into Tenpai, but we challenge 8-mon, also Genbutsu here. Yeah, you can sort of work your way towards a Tenpai. 9-mon is one chance with the called 8-mon on the left. Double one chance at that. Or to see a Ricci from Leon, but that will cause the 7-so to come out. Ricci no Ura, so just the 2,000 points. Ricci no Mi. Andre picking back 2,000 of those points. It will retain the dealership for East 2, Honma 1. Side buy is reasonable. We can accept a Dora with the floating 5-pin. And we already have a completed shape. Potential blocks in all 3 suits as well. Then on the right, callable Chun. No Dora just yet. Great So block, though. Expandable So block at that. Across the way, we do have Jonathan opening up. And we'll see if this turns into Honitsu or not. Does need a good Mon draw before he really feels comfortable going for it, probably. But certainly moving in that direction with these early cuts. Retaining the west as potential Yakuhai as well. On the left, we have Lucas, who is now Ishanten. Currently, 2-pin would fill Tenpai, but we'd love to draw the 4-pin first and work towards Tanya Dora as well. With that Dora draw, I think Jonathan is going to be content with Yakuhai and potential Dora buffs as well. This hand might be able to turn into a Toy Toy if you can draw a 4-pin. Another 4-pin, I should say. Oh, I think I misread that Mon block for Lucas. I thought it already had the 5-mon, but no, 5-mon just drawn, so now it's Ishanten. Andre also Ishanten's dealer. We're going to see a Ricci from Leon grabbing the 3rd Chun from the wall, and now really fancy little Entotsu here. 4-so, 5-so, 8-so. All deal in tiles now. Jonathan finds Toy Toy Ishanten, but that requires jamming the 4-pin. Is he willing to throw out another Dora against a Ricci? Not even willing to test 3-so here, so we'll instead take the Tenpai and the 5-pin. To Dora 1 with extra Fu. Andre could call here for Tenpai. A little bit early for that, though. Still 27 draws in the wall at that time. Lucas just trying to find a way to tempai that doesn't involve dropping Sosu. The 7-so might be what he's looking for. He's so safe, maybe 2-so to follow. Oh, there's another Dora. All right, back to Toy Toy. Dora 2. Jonathan looking at a Mongon right now.
相撲
But Leon will find the Tsumo first. Tsumo Chun Nogura, but Anko Chun helping the Fu bump up to 52 total. And he'll move right back over 30,000 and into the lead with that Tsumo. Right into the dealership. All right, Leon in East 3 opens up a reasonably strong high pie. Perhaps this is going to be a Ricci here. Actually chose to discard the 2-4-so, or at least the 2, so the 4 is still sort of floating here, and now discards that. Perhaps didn't like the odds of this hand turning into Tanya, and chose to work with the other shapes in hand. Jonathan on the right has a pair of the Dora Haku. That is certainly exciting for him to see. None of the other Haku are visible, so he could even find them from the wall.
ポン
Looks across the table, opens up with the 1 pin. This is a Honitsu force. And one of the scary things about forcing Honitsu when a dragon is door is that anyone who does not have a door in their hand is instantly afraid of you. They know you have the opportunity to use it, and that means you are looking at Mongon minimum. Andre on the left will press forward though. These honor cuts.
Boom.
Second call for Lucas. Another honor cut. And at this point, you're kind of have the feeling that Lucas doesn't have any Mansu, otherwise they would have likely come out before these dragons. So pretty close to Tempai. Third honor cut. And you're anticipating Ishanten at this point. Unless Lucas was really fortunate and found Tempai already. Chi
チ
will be Tempai for 7-pin. Honitsu only. But now the rest of the table cannot discard Pinzu. Oh, Jonathan
Don't.
can, but unfortunately that will deal in. Jonathan felt more comfortable forcing those Pinzu out because he had the Dora pair. The value worth fighting for, and he knows it's less likely that Lucas has that. And if Lucas doesn't have the Dora, that means with all of those Yakuhai he discarded, it must be Honitsu only.
ポン
So Jonathan will take the dealership in East 4. Tanya potential for this hand. Maybe you can quirk in a painful less likely now. You pick on the lower so as possible with the right draws. On the right, Lucas calls the south and will continue to chip away at the leaders here in this game. With a relatively inexpensive hand. Across the way, Andre 2 away from Tempai. No door just yet. Potentially Peiko in the upper Pinzu though, for a little extra value. And Leon on the left. That hand is a mess. What is that going to be? Junchan? Chata? Chitoy? All possible. Jonathan, though, finds Tempai not willing to declare Ricci just yet. Will be a wait 1 turn. Is he going to continue to wait for the improvement? There are several improvements, and that's one of them.
1
We'll slam this one. Ricci, Tanya, good wait. 3-6 pin. The other improvements, of course, were in the Sosu we can draw a 2-so or 5-so for Ipeiko. If we draw the Akko of the 8-mon, we also have some exciting ideas of Sanako. As well as just a flexible Tanki. We'll see how the rest of the table reacts as there are 5 tiles in the wall to draw. Seems very likely that Jonathan will be able to find the win here, but Andre opens up as well. He has a path towards a Tanyo. If not Tanya, K10 as well is worth something. That she, in fact, shifts the winning tile away from Jonathan into Lucas. Oh, who draws 2 consecutively. Oh my. Lucas is ready to
There,
fold, though.
Nathaniel. Sounds like you could probably use some help.
Oh, hey, we've got a Korak. How's it going?
Not too bad. Say we have a Ricci here. Sees 4, 3, 6. Actually, is the 3's dead.
Sumo.
3 6s, and there's one of them. Reach Sumo Tanya.
Yeah. Uda would have been really nice there, but Jonathan's certainly happy to win this hand and take the lead in game number 2.
Reasonably dominant first place, but it's early here. Hand isn't that far away, but there's not too much value. The 8s would really have this hand, though. Of course, you can always use another Dora. Never going to hurt. On the right, hand's a bit of a mess. There are a bunch of Mon tiles, but nothing connecting, and a bunch of everything else and nothing connecting. That 7, so to connect that to the 6 is the best tile in the hand now. That tells you how bad that is. Across the way, maybe Honitsu has a Dora there. The rest of the shapes are kind of meh. I think you just go Honitsu. And on the left, though, that's probably the fastest hand we've seen in the West and the East called, and could even go Honitsu now with the 2, 3, 4, 5 Mon and a couple other floaters.
And of course, perhaps Andre has to consider the possibility of Shosushi, but the rest of the players can see that that's quite unlikely.
Dealer upgrades to Ishan 10, potentially Ricci Pinfu Dora or Dora 2.
And Leon a bit unfortunate to have paired up the 7-pin. I wonder if he'll continue.
Interesting there, just throwing the 5 so back. I'd give up on Honitsu at this point, honestly. Oh, well.
It's unfortunate that I got cut twice already.
Right. I think I like the 2-mon cut there more, or the pay cut, rather. Just kind of float everything. Because this just doesn't feel like it's ever make it to Honitsu. You're going to have to pair the north up and then not take Tempai.
And with the north being Yakuhai as well.
Chi.
Okay, finds a different Tempai. Still not Honitsu.
Yeah, and you could have done this just float into 5 so anyway. But pretty good shape here. Looking at 1-4. Of course, 2 of them are out here. You can just throw the 2-mon for a wider Ishan 10 here for Jonathan. Throws the 7 back. There's one of those winning tiles. See the 4-mon drawn on the right.
Each.
Ooh, that's an Ipeco. That's a pretty good hand there across the way for Andre. Ricci Pinfu Tanya, Ricci Pinfu Ipeco Dora.
So Mongon and 3-6 so is relatively live. Still 4 left. Oh, sorry, 3 left. I missed 1 in the discards.
Yeah, 2-3 so, 1-6 so. And similarly, Leon's like, well, I'm not in a position to fold, so I'm just going to shove.
Right, and Jonathan as well has been very aggressive this series. He feels like he will also try to defend his dealership pretty aggressively.
Each.
Well, you just chase with this one. 3-sided, Ricci Pinfu Dora, possible Dora 2. The 8, though, is amazing. Are all 4 of them left?
Yeah, I can't see a single one out there.
2's dead, 5's dead. Oh, it draws the 6, it deals in.
Certainly the less likely way to win, but... Oh! Ura-san!
Hanamandre living up to the name there with the Ura flip there.
Yeah, and that's what I learned from experience. If Andre's back in the standings, you can't count him out. He'll just get a Hanuman and jump right to first.
All right, Lucas, a decent hand here. May just be a call and go with the Haku. Their shapes aren't great. You have that 3-5, 8-8, 9. The So shape's pretty good, but it's going to be hard to make it in Hoitsu. So I think just call and go. On the right, kind of Tanyao type hand. You have 9s in all 3 suits. Maybe you could even go towards Itsu with the 2 Soka. Kind of get rid of the 9-pin first. Across the way, Pinfu, Tanyao. There's a super distant 6, 7, 8 type Sanjiku, but it's just not really there. The hand feels slow on the left. You can see the blocked, but there's similarly no value. You need the 3-pin and the 8 so pretty badly to turn that into anything.
Throughout this series, Lucas has been playing very straightforward, just opening up when he has the Yakuhai. Imagine he'll do the same in this hand.
Ooh, 6 is a very interesting draw there for Andre. Of course, you just go to the 9 now, but you're definitely dreaming of Itsu. Oh, just throws the 9 out. That's actually a bit surprising. I believe it's the most efficient, and now you're just sad. It's the most efficient, but you just kind of tanked your value.
Hmm.
You could have done that with a Tuso, because now it's just going to be the Tanya. I know you could have done that still with a Tuso. You're only keeping 3 acceptance, and even that would be for Ricci, maybe Ricci Dora. But now you have a good shape. You cut 6 here. Yeah, that's going to be the play here. Keep the 2-2-2-4.
Yeah, Ishanten. Potential future Suji trap. Is the Tuso finally going to leave now? On the 1-pin draw. Nope, 1-pin back out.
Possible Sanshku upgrade for Lucas there. And Andre is just going in for Tanya.
Yeah, 5-mon draw now. A little unfortunate backfire.
Chi.
Yeah, I think that Chi's reasonable. His hand just not going, and you're wondering where are the Haku, and the answer is the person that has it just probably folding. You think it's often just paired up and you're never seeing it, but it's just not there.
Jonathan's hand has not progressed at all. Still holding this Haku, because at this point, someone needs it. Of course, Lucas did start cutting away from that pair, so it's become more
Oh,
clear
there
to
was
Scott.
the Itsu. Andre could have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 now. I think that was just not playing it efficiently, just desperate. Well, not playing for any greed, and just keeping the 3 exceptions. I said at the time didn't really add much, so that's just a pretty rough backfire.
Yeah, at this point, he does have one option for the greed. Draw 3-mon, you've got confirmed Sanchoku.
Yes.
And Leon inching closer and closer to being able to reach E.
Yeah, still Ishunten.
We've hit the middle of the 3rd row. I mean, it's super
Well, there's
late.
your tempai on the right. I think, it's 40-10.
Yeah, because of the 6-mon
Each.
earlier. We'll slam it anyway.
We'll just go ahead and take it.
Daring the rest of the table to fight this.
This isn't necessarily a bad play here. Now, you can chi cut 6 for K10. Oh, well, you just chase this. Going to Dama here. This is the ugly 3-6 jump on. If you're reaching on the 7, you'd actually have a 3-6 3-weight.
Yeah, perhaps didn't like dropping any of these pin tiles with a 5 Ricci. Although it is one chance with the 6 pins in hand. Also had the option to Ricci with the 6 pin, but that looks a lot worse.
Yeah, just gonna be the 2 players tempai.
It does feel nice to win points without having to risk a stick.
Well, Andre wakes up with a hand.
Hello.
Get your dealer turn. Look at this. Big smiles.
Of course, 3-mon backfires, but you have your option of just going for an Itsu or Honitsu. Going for it all.
Right. This is one that's very dependent on what you draw. I think you should cut the south here. You couldn't just go 5, 6, 7 Sanchoku for that matter. It's not really something you're thinking until you draw that 6 pin, but sure, if the hand forces you.
Yeah, you don't have to force me too hard to want to go Sanchoku. Oh.
Oh, well, yeah, the 6 makes sense. And I imagine if you pull in the Hatsu, you just cut 5, 6. The only problem is one of the 9 so is the door indicator, and the other one is locked up in Jonathan's hand. But I imagine it may count, except he looks to be greeting for Sanchoku.
That's true. Might take a little bit longer than Andre wants. Of course, if he just draws around this floating 5, so it's excellent. You can just use the 9, so it's the pair and call the Hatsu for Mangan.
Ooh, 7's an interesting. It makes your shapes terrible, so I like the pass there.
Agreed.
If that's a 6, I think you have to take it.
We'll see if Lucas starts shifting towards Honitsu as well. Got a lot of pairs, so he can justify cutting the so block.
Ooh, now that could just give you the Itsu route if you want it. I think that's a little more reasonable, but I can see passing that as well. Ooh, passes the Haku, not going for Toy Toy, just selling out on Chitoy.
Yep.
Now you have to take that one, though.
Little Chi here. It's a lot of once cut pairs in hand. Not necessarily the easiest of tiles to find either. But
Yeah, needs the 9. Well, basically, banking the 9 so is just going to come out, and we
Right.
just look at it and see it's not necessarily there. And this is the problem with that door indicator is a lot of the time you're going to be in this type of situation where it's either just stuck in someone's hand because they can actually use it, or just dead walled.
Just
draw the 5 so.
Other
The case 5 so, and now you're just Tempai. It would just be Honitsu only, though, unless... Oh, and there's our Tempai on the left. There's going to be Haku Nomi.
Yeah, there's a
Shaw 5-mon, Genbutsu 5-mon.
There's a door in the hand for Andre, so that does give him some additional value. Oh, the Chi.
Oh, no.
That 9's going to stay in hand, it looks like.
4 so. I think that actually helps. Yeah, it just throws it back. I don't mind just Hatsu.
Oh, wow, that'd be the green plate. Go for Chinitsu. Oh, but the Chi...
But instead gets rewarded, picks up the Honitsu and the Dora.
Now, I want you to imagine that hand with the Hatsu as your last cut. You pull in the 9 so Hatsu cut. That weight is insane.
And you have this beautiful shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5.
Yeah.
Waiting on what is that? 1, 3, 4, 6?
Absolutely. Chinitsu, Dora, potential 2. But, I mean, winning this is quite strong for Andre. He picks up the sticks in the middle. He prevents Lucas from shutting his hand down and remains in the lead here. South 2.
Yeah, and I think that's an easy pawn. You're going to float the door here. 2 so makes the most sense. There it goes. You get a whole bunch of draws. There's potential for Honitsu and Mon, but you're just playing call and go here, although you really want to connect to the Dora. On the right, that's a hand.
I'll say.
It's a hand that's deceptively annoying because it has all these pairs, but none of them, other than maybe the 2-pin, are particularly callable.
The great thing about pairs is they can easily turn into diamonds. I mean, imagine a 6-so draw or even a 4.
Well, what if you draw another pair and says, nope, not even going to consider the Chitoy there. Across the way, also a few pairs, 3 of them and an Anko. And on the left, hey, I think this is what they call a Toitsuba, which is to say you get pairs, you get pairs, you get pairs, and dealer's the only one without a whole bunch of them.
Toyman no Chitoi Ishantan. Figures. I think Lucas is going to shift away from his pairs, though. Now Ishantan as well.
That 3 so is just so ugly. I'm just going to throw the 2-pin out. I think I'd prefer cutting the 7. But I feel the 2's really good right now with all the 3s and 4. You see the 3, 4, 5 from multiple people here. The only one you're really scared of potentially is Dealer. And Dealer's not showing much, at least, yet.
And speaking of Dealer, this is...
Interesting choice. I think 6 Mon's the cut. Those are the 2 Mon. Doesn't like the once cut 3. That's going to be a Chi. We're now headless for Andre. Speaking of Dora, there's one on the right for Leon.
Yeah, and that 3 so is an excuse to hold the 4 so, which is an excuse to hold the diamond for Dora. But just drew the door immediately. Upgrades the shape.
Oh, well now it's just Tanyao.
Now you kind of like having the potential to pull in.
Yeah, a little easier to pull, but they're still 6s. I wouldn't mind the Ryoncon here. But doesn't matter if that 8 ever comes out, but doesn't yet. It does look pretty big against the Dealer at this point, though. Will the 4 get cheat? No. Backfire on the 8 pin, having just discarded the 9. But not even that much of one, because you don't
No,
want to use the 5 soldier pair, because there's no way you're throwing Dora here.
right. Maybe the excuse to hold the 9 would be just for safety. And
Oh,
also,
2 Dora here. The perfect draw for Andre, waiting 4-7 for Haku Dora.
if Leon did use the 789 as a sequence, could have a really nice 5, 6, 7, 8
There's our
shape the Mons in
Tempai
front
on
of
the
pair.
left.
Which wait.
6-6 Shampon or the... Yeah, I wasn't sure if he was going to reach this. Waiting on the 7-mon Ginbutsu Dama for Tanyao Dora 1.
And in the third row, that late 7 so drop from Andre is really, really suspicious.
Now, saves himself a stick, does deal in though.
Andre continues this dealer run up to 50,000 now.
And just wakes up with another 2 Yaku High and a Dora, maybe Honitsu. I think 8 pin comes out. Could cut pay, but I think you really want to go towards Honitsu. The thing is, you don't really have to if you get the 3 Han here. Oh, well, now you're not even really thinking about it. I don't like the 4 cut. Once you get that fill, you just cut the pay there. I don't like that 4 at all. On the right, Pinfu type shapes, nothing fancy across the way. Pinfu shapes, nothing fancy. 1 Dora, maybe, that's about it. And on the left, more pairs and more pairs. This seems like a pattern I'm seeing.
We have seen a couple Chitoy attempts. But Andre now opens up and does discard the pay eventually.
Ooh, interesting draw on that 6 so. Do you ever cut 1-3? It is much less efficient, but it lets you use the Dora much more effectively.
It allows us to use the Dora and call this out. And to have a good shape for our pair later. This is good too.
Now you're just cutting the 1 regardless. I think this is where the delay is deciding whether if I pull this, do I want to wait on the 5 or do I take the 2-5? And now's your decision. You have to call it. Do you take the good weight or the Dora? Takes the good weight. Waiting on 2-5.
Now 2 Han to 3 Han is a pretty big bump, but the Dora indicator is such an unreliable tile.
Well, and there are 3 home by out there, so it's not your 29, it's 38, which is a pretty big difference.
Oh, trust the 5.
Oh, and it would have been extra foo from the sumo because it would have Kanchan sumo.
Yeah, that would have been a pretty big swing in points, but that was the last 5 in the wall. The other 2 were not coming out, so.
Speaking of big hands, what's that for Leon?
Oh, wow, that's a lot of pairs and onkos. 2 onkos already is a great start for building vertically.
Like, no, we're not going to take the con. Forget that. We have real value. Meanwhile, Dealer has a pretty good hand here, but a few too many pairs. We may have Suanko versus Suanko here versus Chinitsu.
Yeah, Lucas
across
with Dora
the way,
3.
Pinfu there, and an Anko as well. And on the left, 3 Dora, and it's basically, can I get Torichi and slam my 3 Dora? If you get Chinitsu, great. If you don't, that's fine too.
Ooh, 7 Mon's an annoying draw. Because it makes you want to build towards your Manzu. We'll just throw it back though and play for the current blocks.
Basically, there are, I think any tile, the 7-1 or any of the offsuit tiles are all acceptable. I think I like 5-pin the most though. It does kill off your pair. Oh, and now you're just sad.
Oh, you know who's not sad is the dealer who just built another Anko, but Leon will slam
And we have
Ricci.
Tempai on the right, Ricci, Nomi. A whole bunch of foo, but that's it.
Yeah, I almost want to just not take this Tempai.
No, I think at 30,000, this is a fine Ricci.
Dong.
Oh,
well, especially if
pots.
he's just going to eat it into you. Or it would be huge here. Oh. Or there we give Leon a reasonable chance to play for first here, but you don't necessarily need that if you just wake up with the Yaku High like that. The rest of the hand isn't great, but I mean, start with the Anko, find something else later. On the right, Jonathan, it's a Pinfu, nothing fancy. Across the way, regular Pinfu, maybe 6, 7, 8 Sanjiku, maybe Itsu now with that 9-pin draw. And on the left, nice shape in pin with a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But the rest of the shapes are less than impressive. That does at least connect to the Dora with a 5-6 now, where 6 money is Dora.
Yeah, Ishanten for Andre. Would love to fill the 7, so... Oh, that's a
And
backfire.
4010, you selected the wrong pin, John.
Oh, this is where we talk about our SATs and meme a little bit, but yeah, just unfortunate 50-50. Oh, Tepai.
1
No,
All right.
and now you just, yeah. And 4010 makes perfect sense this early.
Yeah.
Even with this lead in first, there are some people who take, but again, Andre's not in a position really in the ladder to care, and he's not in a position in this game to really care.
Of course, the Chuso would have been a nice swap to Shabo.
Nice upgrade. The Shampoo into the 9 months would be nice, but even that's Dorisuji. Oh, and there's another one, so now you're getting a little sad. We know there's only 2 of the outs left in the wall. The question, will it cause Leon to fold? Leon is generally a defensive player, and yeah, just gives up. And that's fine. If you chase everyone off, this Ricci is absolutely a success.
It's going to be interesting to see if anyone can actually build a hand despite the Ricci. Nothing really looks good except for the Sozu, and even then, it's just the terminal Sozu tiles that are safe.
Yeah, the pawn just gives no information, so the argument is don't care, just push, and that's kind of what we're seeing from Jonathan.
Yeah.
相撲
Oh, just sumo. 1 of 2 left in the wall. I never looked at it. Wait, wasn't that free 10?
5200.
Doesn't hit the aura, so unlikely to get the 20 Uma bonus here. But we'll be perfectly happy with that result. Andre at 55-4, and we're in all last. And Jonathan can't... Oh, well, okay. 2 Dora, callable, great shapes. That's what you need. I was going to say, Jonathan really can't afford a 4th here with where he is in the standings, right on the cut line. But it looks like there's a big blob around -50 to -60. So if you start sinking, it's going to be very difficult to catch up. On the right, more pairs, and that is definitely the theme of this hand. This game, rather. Across the way, now that's a nice little hand. It's actually Ishanten, but no, it's not Ishanten. It's a bit of a mess. Do you ever pawn the 8-pin and just hedge Tanyao and Chinitsu?
Ooh, well, get a second shot at it. I don't know if I'm going to go that aggressive.
Well, okay, if you just draw that, you may just say,
Each.
forget it, we're going. But we'll just take the 3-6 reach. That makes perfect sense.
As dominant
Gee.
as Lucas was in the last game.
Dealer has to just shove. He doesn't care here.
Andre's game this time.
And Leon, we didn't get to him, but it doesn't hurt. Oh, there's the big draw. Genbutsu 1-mon Tempai. Someone is going to deal into this, and it's going to be spicy.
Jonathan has to be so pleased with how this has turned out. Like, at any second, someone's going to cut the woman. It's Genbutsu. Surely, surely.
There it is.
Jonathan, that's
going to get him up to 26. Even if you get a third here, it's not really a bad third. And, well, this isn't the ideal result. You're at least okay with this. You didn't want to take a -30 here, because then you're down there 18th or 19th and not feeling very good. But now I'll have a chance to make this into a nice little 1-2-3 Sanshogu. Riichi Sanshogu looks like the play here on the right. Probably just a Tanya Dora 1. Across the way, wants a Daisanga, but there's a problem. Leon also wants a Daisanga.
That would be very unlikely for either of them to get there. This callable hand for Andre to confirm first place is a great start. I guess it would be a great finish to this game.
Pom.
Pom here has a chance at actually moving towards Toy Toy as well.
Yeah, wants to go Toy Toy, and that's definitely a Honitsu hedge with the 6-so. Because if you just want to play efficiency, you just cut the 3-pin. Because your upgrade, you don't want to be on another 1-pin weight.
We'll upgrade there with the 5-so for Jonathan. Still 2 away from Tempai. Oh, and of course, just as the East is discarded, immediately paired up.
And Lucas gives up on the Sanshoku
Gee.
route. There is another way to get the 3-4-5, but that's a lot harder.
Leon's playing this hand as if he knows Andre needs one of these Yakuhai. He just doesn't know he needs both.
Well, we're almost certainly going to see. Oh, no passes. He's just greeting for Honitsu. I imagine this is 4-5 so with how it was played.
Home.
Nope. The question is, we'll get greedy here. Definitely wants to show Sangan out of this. Oh, well, now we're going to see a really interesting. You have to pull in this. The question is, you get super greedy. And in first, I don't think you do.
Oh, but it's Andre we're talking about.
Going to take the mid route here. Yeah, definitely going for max greed.
Yeah, this is the route that gets you Daisangan. Because normally you'd expect the two. Well, I guess the 2-5 is actually not very live, so this makes sense.
Yeah, 2-5 is pretty bad.
Oh, but you could get it all.
Well, you just take the toy. I think you have to just take this. That's a sign. The 3 looks amazing.
Home.
And it doesn't look great against you.
But generally in the wall.
But with that 8 pin, it doesn't feel like it's necessarily Honitsu. Ishanten for dealer for that Riichi Sanshoku. We might see a 4-3 pin cut here just because it's looking so bad. But no, Lucas not going to throw it. Going to keep the Ishanten. Not hedge the Sunmenchun.
Yeah, although it's not immediately clear whether it's Honitsu or not. No reason to risk it. I guess Lucas does.
Right. It looks like exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Which is to say, I wasn't sure whether it was Honitsu or Toy, so I hedged both, and it ended up being Honitsu, or it ended up being Toy. Now, the rest of the table should start getting concerned that on the left, oh, there's just Tenpai, Tuso, Sanjuku Nomi.
Oh, the 8's going to come out.
The 8 is going to deal into the cheap hand here. Hakudoro won, but it will be Lucas in 4th place. The winner, though, Andre, clipping Urasan, getting a 27.4. Leon in second, 10.8. Jonathan managing in South Florida to have a huge win to only lose 9 here. And Lucas will end up taking the 4th, kind of dropping out of the championship race, at least for now, of the minus 29.2.
Yeah, still up about 30 points, maybe just 20 points after the first game. Currently leading the group in terms of points gained. Andre with a nice bump as well, though. Leon hanging around in the middle. Again, not a 4th place result. He's done very well this season to just never get 4th outside of that one very close game. Jonathan taking the brunt of it so far, but still 2 games to go in the series to make up those points. I think that's it for this A1 table.
No, they said they were going to take a break and we'll come back and play the other 2 in a bit.
Oh, okay. In that case, perhaps we should take a break as well and come back with the rest of the games.
All right.
All right, we'll be back in a few. Continuation of A1 theoretically. All right, welcome back, everybody. We've got game number 3 on its way. Quick look at the stats as we wait a few more seconds for it to come in. Of course, I look at the big red text. Dustin's win average with a Yakuman, certainly the highest in the lead by a large margin. And in the defensive side, Leon with a super low average deal in 3,000 is incredibly tight play from Leon. A big part of the reason why he's been doing so well so far, as well as a very low deal in percentage.
Yeah, and you keep that spread at 14% of win minus deal, and you're doing pretty well.
All right, but I heard a gong, so we are in. Leon will be starting us off in the dealer seat.
All right, possible 2-3-4 Sanjiku, but probably just Pinfu hand on the right. Similarly, kind of a Pinfu hand, bunch of messy floaters, 2-6 9-pin, and then a 1-3-3 6-0. Across the way, Hatsu pair, which is Dora. So that's very much call and go. And on the left, you know how I said the last game had a lot of pairs? Well, we're starting to head there now at these draws.
Leon just paired up East. Andre just paired up 6-0. Lucas just paired up 6-Mon. You're absolutely correct. But Leon with double tone happily will open up. See if you can get any additional value here.
You'd love the Honitsu. I'd chi, immediate chi on that 7. So, just draw it yourself.
Rewarded for passing.
Doesn't even consider Honitsu. Throws the 1 so immediately.
Yeah, with two, and actually not even 2, just double tone itself with Honitsu is enough for Mongon. Dealer Mongon is really insane here, so I think you can definitely consider it with the 2-Mon cut or a 7-pin cut.
Yeah, the 2-Mon hedges Sanjiku with the 7-pin's a little bit of efficiency, but I think you should cut one of them.
But one of the things we've noticed with Leon is very, very much straightforward, maximum efficiency, fastest to Tempai sort of thing.
And more pairs appearing across the way. Might even turns into Toy now. I want to fill there for Jonathan, Ishan 10, if you got the 1 so. Oh, well, there goes the 2-3-4 Sanjiku, always your favorite.
Yeah, it's always a sad day when we lose out on a 2-3-4 Sanjiku.
We're going to see a Khan here? No, could also use that as a Kanchan 5-Mon. Not something you always think of with a shape like that.
It's like a Jiankhan in the Manzu, almost. Oh, never mind. Well, actually, it still kind of is, but...
Yeah. Oh, we'll do Shirichi now.
What is this, Lucas? Khan into Tempai, slams Orichi. The weight... I mean, the Dora might not come out, but the 5-so also... Not a super amazing
great.
weight.
Well, that's the thing is, it's like the Dama doesn't really help because I don't think 5-so really comes out almost ever, regardless of what anyone else has. So the Ricci makes sense. You're going for the Sananko anyway.
Yeah, at the time of the Ricci, though, there were all 4 tiles in the wall. A 5-so has since been drawn by Leon.
And Leon's just not going to fight this. I think you could have gotten away with at least the 1-pin shove. But that's just not how Leon's been playing this season.
No. Very conservatively. This is Tempai for Andre.
Tempai.
Andre's not afraid to fight.
Waiting on the 5-8, which is terrible right now.
In my series, Andre took
one left.
A 5-8 pin weight where the 8 pins were all dead. And sumoed with confirmed rather, Sanjiku with a 5-pin. Rahanemon, of course.
Now, it feels like you're going to be a... Oh, and there's the last one. So that's not coming out. This hand's over. The question is Leon ever going to push this? And the answer is no. And there's the expensive end. It is a run. You don't get the Sananko, but that's going to be the same value. Richi, Hatsu, Dora 3, no Aura, though. Will just be the Mongon.
Oh, when you deal that in, you're expecting it to be Hane.
A lot worse, yeah. Well, there wasn't an Aura flip.
Yeah, 2 indicators.
Because of the con, you figure it's just death. And you're looking, okay, I dealt Dora, I only paid at 8,000 plus my stick. That's fine. That's fine.
Andre will get the dealership.
Pinfu type hand, maybe a 678 or 79 Sanjiku here on the right. Pinfu, maybe an Itsui and pin if you get the 3-4-7. Across the way, similarly, pretty standard Pinfu hand. Shapes are very good. Maybe a 3-4-5 Sanchoku developing in there. Will Krutzman shifting in Manzu, and on the left, eh.
Yeah.
And my third opinion of this,
Second and third opinions are all in agreement. Kind of a bit of a battle for Lucas. Kind of drawing pairs, drawing second Dora now. Maybe shifting towards Tanyo.
Andre cuts the 4-pin here. Interesting decision there. Doesn't take the Ryanman. Probably trying to hedge towards Junshan, but with a 2-2 pair, it just seems like a mess. May get it, though, with that draw. Definitely tunnel vision this hand in for Junshan from like the first drop. It requires a 9-month shift. You needed to draw the 1-pin. You need to connect to the 1-3 shape. It's just such a long way.
Yeah, I mean, with the Sanchoku 79 Sanchoku shapes, it is a very natural line of thinking to say, how can I improve the value there? And Juchan's a great way to do that. I mean, he's got the blocks now. He just needs to Chi a 9-mon, but those are being held on the left, so not going to come out so easily.
Ishanten on the right would have to cut the Dora, and Tempai across for Ichi Pinfu on 2-5 so.
Oh, there's a Ishanten for Lucas that does involve dropping Dora, but how
Oh,
about you just...
well, that's a draw. Just go 8-pin, 8-pin.
That's the play.
Potential Ricci, Tanya, Ipeko, Dora 3.
Chi.
I mean, well,
That's the tile that Andre
Chi.
needed badly. I think it's an easy Chi. Yep, just take it open. You're waiting on the Gimbutsu 7-pin for Tanya, Dora 3. And if you deal in, you deal in.
Sumo.
Oh, just Sumo. Reach Sumo Pinfu. Ura 1, so Jonathan going to get a nice boost there. Not in first place, but a close second. Lucas is in first, and will be dealer here with a bit of a mess.
Messes seems like an understatement. What is your plan here? Does it cut your honor tiles and hope for Tanyo?
It's, well, your plan here is 4-5-6 Sanchoku. So that tells you what I think of this hand, because it's just not there with nothing in the right pin shape. You're going to just play efficiency and hope the tiles go here. This is the type of hand where I don't mind holding a little extra safety because it's such a mess. But at the same time, you're dealing. You want to push something. But now all of a sudden you're very sad because someone just reached.
Ricci Dora 2 minimum for Andre, waiting 1-mon Tuso, where Tuso is the Dora. Could find Dora 3 in fact.
One of each left.
Oh, there's the 1. Is this weight good enough to slam earlier, or do you like holding the 4-pin and cutting the 1-mon pair for potential Tanyao and huge weight upgrades?
I like the 1-mon a lot. Just cut it. Since it was once cut, if it were live, I mean, you obviously just slam it. But I think I like the 1-mon cut.
That did end up missing on the 3-pin draw for just a huge weight in the Pinzu.
I live a 2-5-8 2-weight.
Yeah, you still get the Dora acceptance there. And Luca's doing a good job holding on to this 1-mon.
Oh, and there's your Sumo.
Ongon Sumo minimum.
Perfect Ishanten on the right now.
And Jonathan has shown the willingness to fight.
Ishanten for Lucas, too. Wait, is that? No. Yeah, it is. Tuso, 3-mon. Ishanten for dealer as well.
Impressive that these players have been able to fight against this early Ricci.
Well, it's not like the pond is giving you any info. So you like just shove at some point.
I guess Jonathan really hasn't had to shove a single tile, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
Pei,
you obviously don't want to
Tone,
shove stuff by Dora,
Eat.
but everything else is fine. And there's our Ricci. That is Ricci Pinfu on 6-9 so.
Genbutsu 9 so too.
And Lucas is like, okay, well, I was having fun, but we're done. Problem is, what do you do now?
1? Yeah, it's got to be the
5
1.
so. Oh, does throw the 1-mon. Yeah, the Suji makes perfect sense. Ricci, Dora 2. No, Ura. Andre does close the gap a bit. And that will put Jonathan in first place as dealer here. Nice 4 so pull to fill that Concha. And it ends pretty good now. Down to Ricci Pinfu, maybe Tanyo Ipeko. On the right, Chun pair. Although it could just be a 567 Sanshoku with a Dora. But you're Ishun 10. I think you don't really mess around. You'd love to draw like 6 pin. And then you just take the 6-mon weights across the way. Pinfu, but not too much value yet. You have the floater you still need to deal with 3-mon, 8-mon, and 8-so. And on the left, we have a Haku pair. Possible shift to 2-3-4 Sanshoku, but I think just call and go.
That 4-pin draw was so sad for Leon. Now he can't play for Sanshoku anymore. We'll just hold the Ishanten with Richidora 1. Jonathan as well, Ishanten, but Kanchan Penshan, not exactly the most thrilling of shapes.
I always just take that. It's just,
Gee.
this hand's not going anywhere. And you're like, my hand's not going anywhere either. I'll take that. Ishunten across the way now would be an ugly final weight.
Although a weight with the terminal tiles can be okay.
Yeah, but at the same time, especially if you end up with a 6-pin, 9-pin Shampoo, you're just sad.
Yeah. Oh, second Dora. Ugh. Throws it out. Interesting. Not willing to rebuild around it.
Think about it for a second. Like, do I really want to go cheat toy? The answer is no. Pawn on the right for Chundor 1, waiting on 6-9-mon.
And Diamond just cleared. Lucas got out barely in time. Oh, and those 6s are being
well,
held.
okay. Takes the 2-5 weight. Could have taken the 7-8 weight, which I think is better here. A lot better.
Yeah. As
I think Lucas would have thrown that anyway. He did hesitate a little bit, but it's Suji on the right. I think the 8 would have come out. Well, it doesn't matter if you just draw everything.
Well, nice dodge.
Ooh, okay. Really reads that shape as bad.
I'll believe Lucas is folding when I see the 3-pin come out.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Ace is safe.
Yeah, it's always scary when there are 2 open hands and the door is
Gone?
5. There's no new door for any of these players. Pokemon has been discarded a couple times.
Completely useless. And there's the 9. And there it goes. Get some extra food from the con, but we'll just be Chundor 1, 2,600. And now that makes this game even closer. You have Jonathan in a lead, Andre in a 4th, but you're the 2 right around 30K, and no one's out of it.
Now, we've seen in the first 2 games, someone always pulls ahead by a significant margin. Who's going to be in this game?
What a first draw, the 4-pin to get that beautiful 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7 shape. This hand is beautiful. You'd really like the 3-so to be able to do the 2-5 Nobeton, given the 2-so is Dora. On the right, it's a 6, 7, 8, or 7, 8, 9 Sanshoku now, especially with that draw. Can you get Chanta from it? Probably not, but you have a Dora. Across the way, it's a Pinfuni, the 8-mon, 4-mon fills, and on the left, Hatsuanko. Can you get Chanta from that? That's, I think, your real question.
Seems a little bit unlikely.
It seems hard, but you have it in your brain when you're looking at a hand like this.
Right.
Ooh, especially now.
9-so's a great option. If you draw a Dora as well.
So, looks like Andre is giving up on the 7-8-9, looking for the 2-3-4 Sanshoku route. And that's not it. Could just cut the 9, though, and we'll just go with that. In that way, you can just even call it down for Tanyo if need be.
That's the end of Chanta Dreams on the left for Jonathan.
Yep, he's now Itsu Dreams.
Dion Jonathan for Itsu.
Will Andre abandon Sanshoku? You can see he's deciding. He's like, maybe.
Yeah, willing to sacrifice a little bit in the name of holding the Sanshoku.
1
Tempai on 3 so here. Of course, one of them just came out. The other 3 are all on the wall, though. Should just be the 9 mon. Ishan 10 across the way. Ooh. Yeah, not going to con that with the dealer Ricci on board.
Jonathan's aggressive. Maybe not that aggressive.
Oh, well, this must be a Ricci. Well, Dama waiting on Tuso here. It is the Dora, so I don't see any advantage to the Dama other than just saving a stick. And there's
1
Tempai across the way. That's going to be a Ricci waiting on the 4-7.
Will he chase with 2 Richis? Because the Tuso just will fall
You're a
out.
little worried that Tuso's being used.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how he plays this one. It's like, who's chasing the dealer and with what? Instead, just stays Dama.
Yeah, neither of these players can use a Dora. Okay, this is a shift.
Oh,
1
The one's not
well,
great,
yeah,
but
he
he'll
just
jam
reached
it.
you the 1. Oh, and there's the 2, and you're so sad. If you just smashed the button when you should have, that would have been your win. And there's the 3 so, and yeah, Andre's like, no, we're not doing this. The 4-7, I believe the 4 is dead. Yeah, and 1-7 out. The 3 so is 3 out. And the 4, there's the 7. Double Roan, Ricci, Pinfu, Tanyao. Any will be important because both people will be in this area, but no, neither will. Ricci, Hatsu, no Ura. So for a double Roan, that could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, that does put Liana into 4th, but just barely. So still a relatively close game, even with a double roam. I mean, look at first. First and second is a tie.
Pulls in the 3 so there. Andre with probably just a Pinfu here. You might even cut the Shaw, though, and go Tanyao. But you have 2 of them, so it's probably just going to be your pair. Depends what else you draw. Oh, and now you're sad you cut the 1 so. With that 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9 at 1 so you just be dreaming Itsu. On the right, Chun, Pair, and Adora. Shapes are loving that just Kanchan hell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Kanchans. And now double Yakuhai pair up.
At least
Across the way, speaking of Kanchan hell, or that's Ryankan hell, I see at least 2 of them. And then on the left, 1, 2, 3 or 2, 3, 4 Sanshaku could also hedge towards Junchan.
yeah, Conchons are okay as long as you can call them. And with double Yakuhai, you're guaranteed to be able to have a Yaku.
There's the Yunkan upgrade for Lucas, and he just looks at it and goes, what am I supposed to cut? And gets rid of the Sozu shape here. Keeping the hedge for Honitsu available. He's Shunten on the left now. Would just be Ricci Dora or Ricci Dora Pinfu.
Interesting chooses to cut the Conchon Monzu shape.
1
It's kind of like a hedge. Like you still accept the 3-pin here, but if you draw the 6-1, you can still shift away from the Penchon.
Well, that 5 fits nicely into the hand there for Lucas. Ooh, and now you just really want to go Sanshoku, but it's just really not there.
Yeah, you almost have
This,
to.
however, is Tempai for dealer. We'll Dama it. Just 1, 5 and 1, 8 left. The problem is your upgrades are going to be Furry 10. I think all of them are.
Well, if you get 4 so 6, you can cut the 2 so.
Yeah, it wouldn't be. It'd still be just the. Oh, there's our. We have 2 Tempai, by the way.
Totno across the table for 4-7 Mon. And then Lucas on the 7-pin for Chun Dora 1.
Oh, we're going to see a Shosangen play?
This is 6-8?
No. Lucas, not a dreamer.
Not a dreamer.
Snake Shack player's not really known for going for the monster dreams.
I mean, that would be Shosangen Honitsu, Dora 1.
5-mon does look pretty bad here, but there is a Kabe on the 4s. We'll just go ahead and cut the 8 so anyway. Oh,
Should have dreamed. Should have
no!
dreamed. I guess there'd be one Haku left at this point.
Yeah, I wouldn't care. I go Hellway Donkey here for sure.
I mean, the value is huge as a Hanuman.
Yeah, Shosanga and Honitsu Dora.
Oh, and it would have
And that would have, I guarantee you, Andre shoves that. No question in my mind, Andre would have shoved that.
Okay, well, this is an alternate path. We have
Home.
Yakuhai Honitsu door 2. Door 3, I should say. Still Hanuman.
Sumo.
Oh, just Sumo. No matter how big a head is, Tanya will end it all.
And Luke has to recover from that and maybe build another Honitsu.
Well, can certainly start with a call of the Haku when it comes out, probably from Andre. Gonna hedge towards Honitsu here on the right. Pinfu hand, you have the Anko at 7, so maybe Riichi no Mi. I'm trying to see any real value there, and I'm just not. Which I guess is fine, just because any Riichi and any win gets you first going into all last as dealer. But you'd like something out of it. Maybe you Peiko now if you draw 5-8 pin. Across the way, 3 pairs, but not much else. The floating Dora, it feels like it wants to go Chi-Toy. And on the left, Hatsu pair and workable shapes elsewhere. Maybe this is 2, 3, 4 Sanshku, but there's just no value there. And decides to pass the Hatsu, you could pull on the Hatsu and just say, you know what, I'm playing for third going into all last, and if something else happens, so be it. But I don't mind passing the first one. Ooh. Now Lucas is looking at some actual value, especially if you can get the... you have to call it now. You have to.
Oh.
Con?
Yeah, let's go.
There goes the con. 5, so that's a very easy to use tile, but no one has it.
Wow.
There is not a single 5 so in any of these hands. And really, no one can accept it particularly well here.
Right.
Like, maybe Leon, but it doesn't even really fit there too much. There's going to be our Riichi, though. Riichi, possibly Peiko, on the 5-8, which will also have the side effect of shutting Lucas down, probably. Rather not cutting the 5-6 here. And doesn't even really want to throw the 8 so.
Yeah, and even before the Riichi, I think just the 5 so being revealed might have changed his plans about greeting for Honitsu.
Yeah, I might have spooked him. Could Chi this, actually. Oh.
Good thing you didn't, huh?
Yeah, that would have been a sumo. He's just scared of this 8 so, but I don't know what else you have. Oh, throws the 6. Yeah, because it came out on the left. And there's another one of these outs as the 8 pin falls into Leon's hand.
3 left in the wall.
It's Ishanten on the left. Oh, well, now I think you just shove. Yeah, you don't care.
Andre's
managed to work 3 of these outs into the hand.
4.
4 of the outs
It's
into
Tenpai.
the hand. That's one where you deal it and you go, really? Are you kidding me? And I think the 7 may just come out. No, throws the 4.
3's not terrible.
It's it's Kabe. It's Kabe. That I think should have been a shove.
Yeah.
I think he missed Leon's 5 pin.
I mean, you can be concerned about Penchon and
And I think, yeah,
okay,
I'm almost certain he missed it and then went, oh, crap. And then said, oh, wait, there's a Kabe. I should shove the 3.
Well, the 3 pin came out, so was able to fight back.
Yeah, didn't even have to work it. And this 6 is so bad. Oh, it's bad. But it's like, what are you going to do at this point?
There are no 7 pins in the wall for this weight. Lucas is relying on Andre to drop it.
No, 6 just passed, so you don't care. Can't throw the 3, though. This 2, on the other hand, looks way worse than the 3.
And Andre has safe tiles, but he's still jamming things like this 3-mon, so he might consider fighting a little bit. Lucas gets off the train
Boom.
upon drawing the 2-pin. And now a hand loaded with pin tiles.
Wow, everyone has one more draw to make something, and that's Tempai if you shove the 2.
You don't really have
This
another
may be one where
choice.
he does just because he doesn't know what else to do with the hand.
Right.
And 2 players Tempai, and I guarantee you, Jonathan's looking at you going, really?
Whoa, because it was a super Mawashi. But
Oh, yeah.
you can't believe they drew all of your tiles, and this is
Yeah,
interesting.
all of them. Interesting, you could go Chinitsu with this. You could even go Tanya with this. It's not really a hand you'd think of, but it's kind of see what happens with the Yakuhai first. On the right, we have Onko Atuso. Also could just be a Tanya. Could be a Richi Nomi. Could, if you draw a door, just be a Richi Dora. And there's the Dora. Could even just go Tanya Dora with this. The 1300 in the middle really incentivize it. Ooh, interesting decision for Lucas. You could even greet Suanko here.
I think he will. I think this is turned into Toy Toy at least.
Well, we see the 5-1 Pullen on the left. That's definitely a Honitsu play. Across the way, Yakuhai can just call that and go probably. But you want some more value out of this hand, but Richi Haku Dora would be fine.
Boom.
You have to call the 9.
1-1?
Yeah. I'd cut the 1. Because if we draw like 2-4 pin, we just cut the 3s and go Honitsu.
Absolutely. I like this play from Lucas.
I don't think you con that. Yeah, just throw the Haku. It's fine. It just came out. He's getting a little concerned about the 3-pin because of the 5s having come out.
Yeah, and the Haku passed cleanly,
Is
so
that Tempai? No, it's not.
too many pairs. We'll see what he cuts. 1-pin, 1-pin.
Well, that's a nice pull there on the left for Andre. Ishunta now. That's also Ishuntan on the right.
Awkward. Penchant, though.
And there's your Tempai.
Yeet.
You just slam it anyway and says, sure, why not? And the rest of the table is probably like, what?
Boom.
But there's Tempai. Andre doesn't care. Andre just doesn't care here. Because if he gets to
Gee.
June, he's at 30,000. And if it's a direct hit, he's in
Oh.
second. Oh, but he's going to deal in.
Dong.
Worst possible draw. Richi Dora and the Aura kill. So that's going to be a nice little pickup for Jonathan, who's now in first place at all last.
You hate it. You hate
With
it when
a really strong Onitsu Dora 2, Yakuhai 2.
He shot down.
Maybe even closed here.
That's insane.
Do we even need to go over the rest of the hands?
No,
They're
just...
not bad.
Will we see a
On the
chew?
right,
See a
bunch of
toll?
pairs, maybe even a couple of Pecos, Rion Peco potential. On the left, pretty good Pinfu shapes, maybe Tanyao. Well, one of those doors gonna come out, and Leon's like, you know what? We'll just take our third and be done with it. The problem is Jonathan has another plan.
Yeah, it's Tempai already.
And Lucas could get in big trouble if he ever shoves.
East will be Hanemon for Jonathan, 18,000.
Ishuntan on the right for Tanyao. And I guarantee if Lucas knew what was actually going on, he would immediately throw tiles for Leon here.
The problem for Lucas
He doesn't
is
have any of the 2-4, so
his
they're
hand
locked
looks
up across the way.
so good for Tanyao, and the East is
Oh,
gonna come
there
out!
it goes!
18,000. An insane high pipe for Jonathan, and it's Lucas who gets punished.
And that is the result Jonathan needs to get out of the danger zone. With this type of win, he'll be up in that big group around where you and I are.
Yeah.
So there's a huge potential here for Jonathan. Up that 18,000 with the deal in there, off of second place and the extra UMA bonus now.
Oh, he's not done yet. Look at this. 2 Yakuhai, 2
Just
Dora.
wow, yeah, another just go. You just call and go. It doesn't take much skill to play these hands. You just go.
Yeah, and we knew someone was gonna run away. It's happened in every single game. It took till South 4, but Jonathan was the player who did it. And
Bunch of
he's
pairs on the right as well. Nice little Pinfu, Tanya, potential San should go across late. That's actually a really good hand.
oh,
And on the left, a few pairs. Rian Peiko upgrades potential with a 2-3 mon.
Cadleon shut this down with a Chi Tui. There's enough blocks to just pull, and go for Chinitsu Toy Toy.
I don't think you can call this.
Boom.
I don't think you should call this. And I call a lot of questionable stuff. Because if you don't get the Dora, this is 1,000. You can't
Boom.
even take the win. Plus your Otazuke with that 4, so and now you're just sad. Yeah, I think Andre was way too aggressive with that. It's just the scorers don't incentivize this play. It feels like a get me out of here choice rather than maybe this was the right efficiency play.
Yeah, but he feels confident that the force will come out from Leon, so it's 2 drawing pools, and he gets the
Oh, no,
force.
he'll just draw it himself.
All right, Tempai.
Boom.
Ishan 10 for dealer.
Ooh, depending on what he draws, he could be safe or he can deal in.
Well, the thing is, if he deals in, do you pass? Oh, no, you do have one Dora.
There's one
Okay,
Dora.
that was the thinking.
Oh, if this 7
So yeah,
comes
you
out.
just take this then. Yeah, it should be Chi cut 3, I think. But that Horitsu looks scary to Lucas. He may be able to hold this. I think the 9-pin makes more sense.
That's the second Anko draw for Leon.
So we say Andre needed to get the 4 after the 1, and he gets 2 of them.
now maybe shift upward again.
Yeah, you walk your way up with that.
Oh, that's the safe Tempai.
And there's Tempai. That's going to keep him here.
6
5-6 versus 4-6. Or 5-6 versus 3-6.
Yeah. 3 tiles in the wall for Jonathan, and 4 tiles for Andre.
We're going to see a Pon for Toy Toy. Ponsman is not willing to jam the 4 in.
Oh,
and we're going to see a
gee.
Dora Tonki shift.
Oh, that puts Andre at a huge disadvantage now. And he's going to draw the 6 and 10.
Ooh!
It's another one. Another 18,000 points. And Jonathan all of a sudden at 80,000. Andre went a step too far in that hand and got punished severely for it.
But has a hand to make it up. About the only hand you could possibly get to make it up.
Yes. Hit him right back, right? With the Honitsu Dora.
And he even passes the first south. He's just looking for everything here.
Mm-hmm.
Since you have the door, I'd call it and just plan on going Dora Tonki. But regardless, dealer here has potential Itsu and pin. Shapes aren't great, though. You don't expect to win this hand on the right. That's already Ishan 10. Yeah, it's just Kutsuki Ishan 10. Looking with the floating 3-pin, floating 4. So the Honitsu across and on the left, that's another pretty good hand, especially if we get the 7-mon. So there's Tempai on the right. Just going to take it here, waiting on 4-7. I don't like this because the 4 is already once cut. This is barely better than a Tonki. I think there are just too many upgrades here. You could go 1-2, or you could just Dama this and look for any sort of Tonki upgrade. Not cheating the 3. What is Andre doing? May just try to cut his losses here? I don't understand that, though.
This is a super Menzen play. And Jonathan is Ishan now if he wants it.
Not going to take it, though. Really trying to hedge towards the Itsu here. Hopes the 3 will come out from Lucas. There's a 3 and the 8 are both Genbutsu.
Chi.
Will you just call? Yep, that's the plan. It's Itsu. Me just saying, I'm riding the flow.
And the pay came out once already, so it's not like Leon is likely to have a huge Dora bomb. Of course, with Ricci,
Chi.
always a possibility.
That's Tempai waiting on Gibutsu 8, and
Boom.
there it goes!
Oh my goodness.
Just riding the flow. Oh, and another possible Honitsu Yakuhai, potentially double Yakuhai hand.
Like, if the game were to end
What
right
is
now, this
this?
would be a plus 73.3 for Jonathan. He's going to be above you and I. You said he was going to be around our score?
Well,
No.
I didn't think there was going to be another Hanemon, and then that, and you just keep going with this hand. On the right, though, that's the kind of hand we were kind of expecting from Jonathan a few hands ago, and I'm not even sure which is stronger. Probably Jonathan's, though. Across the way, that's not even a bad hand. That's a nice little Ricci, Tanya, maybe Pinfu, maybe a Dora in there.
Mm-hmm.
And on the left, not even a terrible hand, but by far the weakest of the ones here. It's probably just Tanya Dora 1.
Oh, another 9. Okay, let's keep drawing
You
ones
just got
and
the
nines.
6-7. You just go.
3 Shanten from Chuden.
I don't even think you're really considering it. You just want the South here, and it's going to come out from Leon at some point, I presume.
Mm-hmm.
Shanten on the left.
Boom.
There's a Chun, there's the Pon,
Boom.
there's the South, there's the Pon. This is what? Two-sided, 1/9. This is so disgusting. That weight is disgusting. And there are just so many improvements, too.
Yeah, for South Honitsu. Sumo, you get a Fu bump.
With the 900 Honba as well.
Yeah,
Dama on the left, no Yaku.
Oh.
On the 7-pin.
No.
Boom.
And there it goes.
Another 6,700 added to Jonathan's total.
90 clean.
A cool plus 80.0 right now. And look at this hype. It continues.
Yeah, it's just Tanya Dora 1. You just call and go. And if you fill it yourself, you can go Ricci, Pinfu, Tanya, Ipeko, Dora.
Dion 10. It's amazing. Jonathan is trying to break records today.
On the right, a few pairs. The pin shape's nice. Everything else is, it's a pretty good hand altogether. Across the way, nice little Ipeko shape in Manzu. You do have the overlap on the 6-mon, but I'm not going to complain about a hand like that. And on the left, that's a hand I'm more willing to complain, even with a completed shape and a couple Ryanman runs. Just so many floaters you have to get rid of.
How do you feel about second Dora?
Oh, what would be funny is if you get the 8 and you just reach you the 4 on the Cheetoy.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely disgusting. Jonathan will hold all of the Tanya blocks though. Still willing to open up, I'm sure.
I didn't even know that I would. Maybe on the 5-mon. Oh, well, you just got the 4. And you still have all these, but now I definitely just call.
Yeah.
Especially if you get the 2-mon or 3-so.
Yishanten across the way for Andre.
Well, that was the Cheetoy.
Yeah, I mean, I was considering the South as a hold for Cheetoy cutting the 4-mon, but why do that when you have such a decent Tanya chance? That if you get closed is insane Ricci.
Could have seen a Tempai call across the way for Andre, but I agree with passing that. He needs points now. Like, Andre has to start worrying about potential demotion if there are another couple games like this. Oh, well, yeah, just throw the 2
Interesting
back.
choice.
Eat.
Tempai on 8-9 Shampon. I don't think he realized it until he hit the button and went, oops.
Yeah, maybe it was just deciding between the 2, 5, and 8 which one to discard.
I think just shove. Yeah, he's just riding the flow at this point.
Yeah, Jonathan, I mean, okay, if he deals to Hanuman, so what?
Pawn, easy pawn. And you have to, don't you?
I mean, the resulting weight's not amazing, but He rides the flow even further. Says, I can do better
Wow.
closed.
Oh, no. He's just kind of hedging the
Yeet.
fold here, I guess. And there's our Ricci. That is Rishi Pinfu Tanya Dora. And yeah, he's just. Oh, no! He would have won the Mongon!
Well, it's still not over yet.
Oh, wow.
It's Tempai again on the 6-pin, which is Genbu to the second Ricci. There's only one 6-pin left in the wall, though.
Yeah, just one left.
Surely no way. The 1 tile beats the 3 for Leon's weight. Or the 3 for Andre's weight. Statistical
Could cheer the
probability.
5-7 cut 9-9 here if you don't like the draws.
Gee.
Says, I'll pass my draw to you, Jonathan. And
Oh,
Jonathan
there's the deal in.
can hold for K10. I have 6, so it's 9. He's safe in the 9, yeah.
And he obviously doesn't
Don't.
like it. Yeah, if he would have shoved, he would have gotten the Mongon. Instead, we'll deal in for 3,800, but you're not going to complain about that run.
No, look at the score. Plus 76.2, a grand total of 86,200 for Jonathan. And all of the negative results from the first 2 games totally wiped off the board. He's net positive.
Yeah, and he's just out of danger. He jumps past both of us anyway. Leon, again, takes a second, but it's a -1. We'll just sit there casually. Has been kind of chilling most of the season. Lucas takes a -16, drops a little bit further back. And Andre, though, drops all the way down to 9.2 after that result. And definitely one of the swingier players. He's not safe where he is. I think that pawn to switch to the Dorataki was just too much.
Yeah, that was definitely the greedy route. We'll see how this last game pans out. Let's see, has it come up yet? It is indeed about to start. Let's go ahead and pull that up. It's been a really
Yeah,
thrilling
no one this
series.
season with a single-digit deal in. Everyone at 10 or above.
Typically, we've had a couple players each season with single digit. When Beechen's in the league in A1, usually he's one of them. I know you've been there as well.
Yeah, I've had a couple. Well, with Vishen, he won't deal in, but at the same time, unless he really gets running, he doesn't win too much either. And that's what got him demoted the last time was I think he had like an 8% deal-in rate, but he wasn't winning that many hands. So those he was winning weren't particularly big. And you just see the sumo rate in A1 goes nuts.
That's a careful balance, but we will be on our way in game number 4, the final of the series. Andre to start us off in the dealer seat.
Yeah, probably Pinfu hand. Tumon would help. Has a Dora here. The Penchon 3 pin, the Kanchan 3 pin, and Tumon would also help here. On the right, pair of East can call and go. Ooh, that 7-mon for dealer helps immensely. Across the way, I mean, the shapes look pretty clear. There's just no value. And on the left, the shapes are hideous, but there's obvious value.
Boom.
An early Haku call. One had already come out, so it's last chance to take it.
So most fishing cut here is the 9 pin, I think. I mean, those raw efficiency the 7, so, but I think 9 pin's probably better because you still can't accept the 2 mon, although you're not thrilled with it. And I hate just throwing the 1 mon there either. And there's your punish, and that's why I want to keep the 7.
Yeah, there's an interesting balance between raw immediate efficiency and long-term efficiency.
Oh, just pair it up. But even here, you're just not happy with this.
Yeah, looks like it's gonna be Richidora 1. maybe 2 on the 3 pin
You'll
suit.
accept it. It's just not. Well, the interesting thing here is you know the 9-pin's Kabe, so you can fold anytime. And now you're sad.
Not very much progress around the table. Another pair for Jonathan. Just to let the pawn go. No autos get here.
Well, I gets an upgrade here, so that's a perfect Ishan 10 now for Andre.
I'm curious, would you have called the 9-mon for if you were in Jonathan's seat with door 2?
Home.
At this point, probably with the open hand. I'm a little worried about being pairlocked on it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's a very interesting draw. We'll take the pin foo.
We've got Ishan 10 for Leon. Tempai now.
Tempai on the left on the 2-5, which is terrible.
Andre's walked this down to potential Tanya, although.
Yeah, this would be a good hand, though. Ricci, Tanya, and it doesn't matter. There's your 1,000, and that's the end of that.
Yeah, no Ipeco Tempai.
Dealer here has a Hatsu pair, couple other pairs. This is one where you just hedge 1-2 and pray for the best. I'd cut 1-mon. Said cuts the south on the right. Kind of a pinfu hand, 3-4-5 Sanchiku being a dream, but it's a little slow. You have 2 Dora, so you're looking accused to call, and it's just really not there. Across the way, ugly pin shape, 1-2-4-8-9. Even with a 4-beat Dora, it's not great. 2 through a Sanchiku maybe being around. On the left, it's the same thing. Just the ugly Kanchans in higher ends of the suit. With the 5-7 and then that 4-6-7-9 in Mon. Ugh.
Yeah, Lucas has been drawing really well. Onkoed up the 1, so now Ishan 10 with potentially Peiko in the Pinsu.
I hate that 1-pin cut. You're not really gaining much with the Hatsu and the Chun, and I definitely want to hedge toward Fietsu, especially if you're just going to throw the Hatsu the next turn anyway. It was more a Saki gear, but I think it was too early for that, and there are too many routes for this hand. Maybe just brute force in the 2-4 Sanchiku, but now even that's dead.
Yeah, as is an Ishan 10 that's callable with the Chun, and also Canter to a Yaman as well.
Okay, it does manage to work it in.
It's a little downside for Lucas, but
oh, there's your okay. He does manage to fill it in there. Ricci Dora 1 3-6 pin. And Jonathan wants nothing to do with this. Tempai on the right, though, on the 5-pin Dama.
Ipeco door 2.
Are you ever changing that weight, though? I guess that's the only question. Maybe if you draw like 9 so, you might consider the Sun Anko route. It doesn't want to throw the stick in here, because the 5's always a bad tile. But if you're throwing things like the 4 right next to the Ricci, does it really matter a whole bunch?
Sumo.
Saves a stick, though. There's a Sumo. Ricci Sumo Dora 1. No Aura. Leon picks up 4,000 net there.
Yeah, I wonder if there was no Ricci, if I think Lucas might have still Damaed that.
Yeah, I think I definitely think he would Dama that if there was no Ricci. I'm somewhat surprised he did with the Ricci, though.
Right, if with the Ricci, that means you have a second drawing pool. The 5-pin not as bad as it usually is. Yeah, really interesting situation.
All right, we have the double East call for Lucas. Now Ishan 10. Beautiful hand. Do you keep the 2 and pray for a Dora, or do you just play efficiency? You could even cut 8-mon, but I think that's just bad, generally. Yeah, cuts the 2-pin. Just wants the speed here. That seems reasonable. If you draw a Dora, you can always draw a Tonki, too. So I think the 2-pin makes a lot of sense. On the right, that's a lot of pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, so that'd be Ishan 10 for G-Toy. You know, obviously the 5-pin fill across the way. No real value there either. And on the left, similarly, no value. Can't even really call that. There's a Ricci on the right and a Chitoy on 9-so. And that kind of would be a Chitoy pawn, but it's so early, you just don't know.
Right. I've heard people say, though, that early Richis are more likely to be
Lousy
Chitoy.
weights.
Oh my goodness, just
Oh,
got
just
sumo.
sumo. Must be nice.
I was wondering which way it was better. I mean, obviously there was a 9 pin as the door indicator, so more outs on the wall and pays
It doesn't
off.
flip the 2 aura, but the Apatsu does boost it from 64 to Mongod. So he'll definitely take that. Leon into the lead here. Could go Chunt with this. Really not any other real value ways in this hand that I see. Could always just go Richidora 1, though. I think Honitsu's too far. On the right, definitely a Tanya type hand. 6, 7, 8 Sanjiku looking very good. Across the way, that 7 that's needed on the right seems pretty locked up for now, so getting those is going to be quite difficult. The problem is it doesn't really all fit in Jonathan's hand here. Kind of hard to decide what you're going to go for here. I almost just want to cut the 9-8 and go Tanya. But instead throws the 5, going to float the 9 here for the 7-8-9 Sanshoku. And on the left, nothing fancy, pretty standard Pinfu hand there, just likely Ricci Pinfu. But we'll need to fill the pension or cut the block, and we'll cut the block now. Speaking of that block, the 2-so is drawn immediately by Leon, and now you have a decision to make.
Yeah, rapid progress all around the table. 7 pin. So dropping away from a
I like
pair,
the 7.
leaving the tile that's the most easiest to build around.
Right, and you can always cut Shaw later anyway. This kind of hedges Honitsu. It also hedges Chanta. You're not really thinking about it, but there is a potential for it here. And Ishanten on the left as that now fills.
Andre's Tanya looking a little slow with all these Kanchans. Likes the 7 pin a little less, given that 2 have been discarded already. Might see another one from Leon pretty soon.
And Leon not going to float the 5-1 here. You could argue to cut the 1-so, but 5-1's perfectly fine.
Perfect Ishanten for Lucas. Richie Pinfu.
Well, Leon should have gone Chitoy this hand too, apparently.
Soon to be 3 pairs in the discards. Jonathan stalled out as well. Hasn't drawn any connector to the 2-pin Dora. Nor a connector to the potential Sanshoku.
Ew, and that 6 just makes that shape so bad. And that 5, I mean, they just go right back, you know. Oh, that's a fill. Ishanten for dealer.
Ishanten now for, I guess that's Dianshanten for Andre still kind of far.
You just cut the other 5-pin and lock your pair in, maybe hedge the Peiko. Nope, throws the 3 back. That's a pretty easy chi. The question is, are you going to get greedy for Sanshoku? And I don't think you do at this point. I think you cut the... You could cut the 3-mon and hedge it, or you could cut the 8. I hate the 6-so. I really hate the 6-so. That's like max greed, but you're just talking between 1 and 2 Han. And there's our Ricci across the way. Ricci on 3-pin. Ricci Dora 1. Does get the chi though, but you could have done that with the 8 anyway. I guess you would have just shoved the 6, but I think that's worthwhile anyway.
3-pin versus 2-3-5 mon.
Tempai for dealer. I imagine you just slam this. And that was the Shaw. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, Shaw's live, and the 1-mon are trapped on the left.
Tough hand for Lucas to navigate here now.
Might just cut 2-mon and deal in, I think.
Sumo.
Oh, just sumo. Andre does get there.
Benefiting from the 2 Ricci sticks as well. Doubles the value of the hand. Triples the value of the hand, honestly.
Well, Andre has 2 Dora, looking for excuse to call for Tanya with this hand. Workable pairs. You're not really thrilled with the 7-9 because you're going to get rid of that 9, but it's just Tanya. On the right, speaking of pairs, there are 4 of them there. Might also just go Tanya. Across the way, kind of a disconnected mess. You have a pair of 5 so, a pair of 1 pin, and that's about it. On the left, similarly, kind of a mess. You can at least see the semblance of blocks there, though, with the 8 pin, 6 pin, 5 so, and 2 mon being obvious upgrades. Wait, what? What on earth is... Oh, Jonathan just selling out a cheat
Yeah,
toy.
Cheeto door too. And
Yeah,
Andre
didn't even
considering
really consider anything else with this hand. And from Ishan 10, that makes a certain amount of sense, but I think you just got 8 so first. But if you're just hard selling out, you don't really want to be waiting on Door Indicator anyway.
yeah, door indicator usually a bad Cheeto tail.
Oh, and now you're just sad. You could have the 3, 4, 5 and the 6, 7, 8 now.
Yeah, all of a sudden it looks like a Tanya or even just a regular Pinfu. Speaking of Tanya, Andre moving that direction.
Interesting choice here. You could cut 7 pin if you really want to use the 5 twice.
Although you, with the 4 pin being twice cut, the chance of filling a 3-5 conchan and a 5-6 conchan also pretty limited.
Like, it's
So
really bad.
I think I'm willing to cut the 7 here. Oh, this might be Cheeto too.
It's also Cheetoy. It's just a 7. Yeah, there it goes.
And for these Cheeto hands, I mean, the other two at the table, not really very speedy at all, so they have some time to build.
Ew. Oh no, it just gets worse and worse for Jonathan. The curse of Cheetoy. The saying goes, deserved for this just because you went for Cheetoy.
A little surprised at the 2 pin from Andre because it looked really good
Yeah,
for
and
Cheeto.
that would have been your tempai on the right for what?
Boom.
Ricci, Pinfu, Tanyadora.
But he was still considering Tanya.
And Andre says, I've had enough. Screw Cheetoy, we're just going. But I don't like that. I think these shapes are really hard to work with.
I mean, you're relying on the 3 pin at this point.
Not only the 3 pin, but you need to pawn the 2, 3 so. Probably both of them.
Right.
Unless you get the
Yeet.
6 mon, which looks really bad.
All right, time's up. Leon with the Ricci.
Yeah,
Dora
you just
1.
3 so. Is Ricci Dora 1 on the 7 mon. There's only one of those left.
Jonathan cannot win this hand with the Dora, so he's probably going to be folding out soon as well. Yeah, 5 pin, I should say. Lucas never really made any progress in the hand, so he's out.
And yeah, it looks like Jonathan's out.
So it looks like at this point we're just looking to that last 7 mon. Where in the wall? What wall could it be? First of all, is it in the live portion? And second of all, is it in Leon's drawing line?
I don't think this pawn makes sense just because you're going to have so much to go through. Well, and that would have been your cheat toy draw there on the right, but didn't want to throw a 3 or 5 pin. Of course, we know the 5 is dead.
At this point,
Would that be Tempai? No, so there's no reason to call it. Even the high take shift doesn't really help here. Now, I'm surprised the 6 was not pawned. If there was a safe tile, you could have denied a draw completely. Gotta take a look at that another time. But anyway, Jonathan Dealer here. Another reasonably good starting dealer hand. Not like the ones he was getting in South 4 last time, but a pretty good hand.
Yeah, it's got a Dora, paying for chances. Final chances.
And that's a nice fill. Now you're just going Tanya. On the right, speaking of fills, 2-pin fits in perfectly there. Looking for that Richidora 2. Great shapes there across the way. Great shapes, but no value whatsoever. Completed Anko, your pair's locked in, Ariadne, another completed shape, but there's just no value. When you're in first, though, you don't really care about value. On the left, we see the pay's been called, just trying to get to that 30K for now. Could, though, go towards Toy Toy with that draw, though. I think 6-0 is the normal cut.
Ooh. Jonathan pulls in a second Dora now and shifts away from the Itsu chance in favor of Tanya.
I mean, if you can, you could also go for the Peiko type shape here.
I'm pretty sure that's how he's viewing this. Jiankhan in the Manzan, Amanzu, Jiankhan in the lower Pinzu, and then of course the 7-pin draw for Ipeiko.
The 1-mon cuts normal there, and there it goes.
Where's the Chitoy?
Just cut the 1 pin and sell out on this.
Yeah, that goes with
Nope, cuts the
Tombstone.
2-mon out, kind of hedges everything. Doesn't really want to give up on the Cheetah, I think, is the big part.
That is 4 pairs.
Oh, well, speaking of 4 pairs, there's 4 of them on the left.
Yeah, Toy Toy for sure. The 1-pin.
And if we would have gotten rid of that one earlier, you'd be okay. But now if it comes out, it just gets boned.
Shanten for Lucas with that Judora.
Easy pawn. I imagine you cut the 8-pin and get greedy here. The 9 looks amazing in the wall to me. And is this a pawn? This is a chi. Should be a chi.
Ooh.
Each.
You could also pawn it, just kind of hedge everything, but I like the chi there a lot.
Lucas drew the Ankh of Sanzo, and that means 4-7. So was the wait for Richidor too. Good value.
7-pin would be double road. Why no, 7 so on the right. 7-pin, 9 so on the left. Oh no, and that's going to make the 9 look super safe here.
Uh-oh. Leon has a save
Throws the 5 first. 2 Suji. You shove the 2.
Okay,
kind of delaying on this for a second.
He has 2 more save tiles for Leon. Doesn't have to deal in yet.
Okay, well, he can throw the 8 first.
Oh, but the 7. Jonathan's struggling to build a hand without cutting 9-mon pair anyway, so...
Could go 5 Nakasuji and Genbutsu. We'll just throw the double Genbutsu, though. 9 is safe against the Richi. 6 is safe. Yep, there's the 5. Throws the 2. Of course, that had also come out. Good disciplined play here by Leon. There were a lot of chances to deal in and just hasn't yet.
Yeah, he's got enough save tiles to get to the end now.
And Andre's like, nope, we're done. And then is very sad when that happens.
Ken's on here, yeah. Removes the last draw from Lucas, and
yeah, and there goes the Dora. So instead, Lucas gets the full 3,000. Andre kind of chickening out there at the end. Will lose the 1,000, but Lucas is thrilled with this. Second, up to third place with 2,600 in the middle and a reasonably callable hand for Tanya, maybe 4, 5, 6 Sanchaku, also potentially Dora. On the right, is it 4 pairs? You can go with a lot of directions with a hand like that. Across the way, similarly, feels like more pairs. Could even pawn that. I think passing makes more sense, though. Has a Hatsu pair and can go. I'm mildly surprised the 1-1 was not pawned. I think I'd have taken the 1. Even with the potential Otozuki. And on the left, that's just Ishan 10. Just cut the 6-pin.
So this is Kutsuki.
Yep, that's Kutsuki. That's one where you look at it, wait, is it? Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it?
We've got...
And I think it took Jonathan a couple seconds there to figure it out, but got there eventually.
Yeah, I would love to draw around the Dora, but if you get a chance to Peiko, that's okay too. I think actually most of that hesitation was probably him willingly choosing to give up on 678 chance. 678
Yeah.
Sanchoku.
Well, he's definitely greeted for Sanchoku in a multitude of hands. And Leon doesn't want to go with the Dora, Tonki, potentially in the Chitoi. Going for Chitoi fairly clearly,
Eat.
and that's just a Ricci.
Nice play by Jonathan, finding the early Ricci. Ricci Dora 1, waiting 2-5 pin. 4 tiles left in the wall.
Now, 2 of each, 2 fives, 2 2 twos, 2 fives.
Lots of sticks in the middle now. 2 Honba, 3 sticks. So nice little pot
Yeah,
to collect.
Leon
Sumo!
doesn't care. Oh, just Sumo, and that's going to get him over 30k.
Reach Ipat Sumo Dora. Noguera, that's a Mangan with the sticks. As you said, 33,300. Now in a pretty clear second place with a chance at
And we're in
first.
all last.
Yeah,
The only other pretty good hand here, potential 5-6-7 Sanjiku, also a floating one Sodora on the right. Tanyao, maybe a Pinfu here, distant Itsu and So, but unlikely. Across the way, South, Pair, I imagine just call and go. First just seems hard to get with a hand like that, although it is possible. On the left, nice shape in Mon, everything else is... okay, well now you have a 6-7-8 Sanjiku. I think you just got one pin and go. Beat Sumo, Sanshoku would be your Mangan. Still wouldn't get you a 30k, but at least get you out of fourth.
See a gap of 7,000 for Jonathan. Leon's taking Oyakaburi on Sumo. Lots of
And
opportunities over
Jonathan's
fate.
pond is just sad so far.
Yeah. Just throwing away Sho Sushi.
This should probably just be 9, so... No, going to hedge everything in Sozu.
Conchons galore.
I guess this gives the best chance for the 5-6-7 Sanshoku, but it makes the rest of the hand just really hard to use. I like the 9 so a lot more.
Yeah, at this point you're just relying on 2 So blocks to fill. And you have plenty of So shapes.
Well, any even tile in So helps you. That's all you have to know.
Meantime,
But does
Jonathan,
the 6 even help you a lot? I mean, it helps you some, but not a lot.
that's not an
Ugh.
even tile. Thank you very much.
And it just
Ooh,
eats the Dora. I don't like that. Similarly, I think it's still just 9, so I don't know why that's still in the hand.
this is like hedging heavily the maximum Ipeiko Tanyao Sanjoku. Oh no!
And punished. This could have been Tempai. You wouldn't be thrilled with it, but I think you'd take the Kanchan 8 over the 5-8, 5-7 Shampoo. I guess you cut the 9, you'd be on the 5-7 Shampoo with lots of potential upgrades. You might even not even take Tempai with that if you're getting really greedy.
Yeah, I mean the Sanjoku's still technically live. Jonathan, of course, has been Ishoten for a while. Just can't find that final tile to connect. 1-4 pin, 1-4 mon.
Chi.
I think you have to just cheat now. Yeah. And there goes your 9.
Yeah, would have drawn the 6 so.
It seems to be a cut your losses type play.
Really vulnerable now, though, if there's a Ricci.
Yeah, that's always the problem. Is like, what are you gonna? At the same time, you don't see any information speak up from Jonathan's pawn specifically. Well, you can take your Sanjiku now, and that's gonna be the plan. He wanted Sanjiku, and it didn't
Chi.
matter what anything else was happening,
He
and he's
gets
gonna
his
get it.
Sanjoku. Yeah, there we go. You can't go wrong going for Sanshoku. It's like I always say. Sanjoku Besyaku. Leon now 43-2 increases the gap, so a little bit more safety, but still within Mangan Sumo range of Jonathan. Or rather, is Jonathan of Leon. I'm just not convinced that the hand is necessarily a Mongon. It does have 2 Dora. I mean, I guess with 2 Dora, any Richitsumo is enough.
All right. Oh, Leon has kind of a mess. You have the overlap with the 8-pin. Really looking to pair up a Yakuhai and go with this. That's not one of the Yakuhai you were looking for. On the right, that's a much better hand now. Potential Ricci Dora? Maybe Tanya if you got the West-West across the way. Few pairs. 2 Dora, so you're looking for Houston's call and go. Of course, if you do get a Mongon Sumo, that would be first place. And on the left, possibly Peiko, possible Chitoi. I think Chinitsu is a bit far away, though. And now you're just Ishan 10.
Leon struggling a little bit to put this one together.
Chitoi across the way, now Ishan 10.
Ooh. So Chitoi Dora 2 Tsumo will be enough.
Thinking about calling this, you can, but it goes a
Boom.
long way back in this hand. I don't hate it. I don't like the 4-pin cut, though. I think if you're going to do this, you just go. It's probably hedging the Toy here.
Yeah, this definitely feels like if you're calling it's for Toy. 4-pin keep would be for the potential Tanya, right?
Yeah, but you're going to have to call the 2-pin or the 4-mon and the 6-pin. It's just hard to get all of those tiles.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, well, okay.
Might be back on the Tanya plan.
Now you kind of hedge both, and this was the idea of keeping the 4, so at least.
Leon now actually technically Shunton, and oh, draws the perfect tile. Dama Pin for
Dealer
1.
Dama on 5-8-pin.
Maybe this is just there it
Boom.
is.
There it is.
Dama, out of respect for the Toyman's hand, say if I deal in, I can't. I might lose, but as long as I play safe, I can avoid any danger.
Also drops Andre to 4th, which is very important
Boom.
here. And we haven't got over the hands, but there's a pawn for Leon here with South, potentially Dora 1 here. Not really under the route for value. On the right, feels like Pinfu shift. You have the Anko of Sha, so maybe Honitsu, maybe Itsu. There are lots of routes that hand can go towards. Oh, well, if you're Leon, just pair up the White Dragon. You just call on that your other Han there. Across the way, there are 2 of those Dora, but I imagine that Haku's going to come out fairly soon. And on the left, ooh, shiny hand. You like it.
So Khan is kind of interesting because you're Chito Ishantan, and conning will absolutely ruin that. But you also have Suanko possibilities in Toy. I think it's really good. I like throwing the 5-pin
I
back.
feel with where Lucas is in the standings, you should just con.
Boom.
Yeah,
Even if he takes a bad 4th, it just really doesn't matter to him.
I guess Richie Chitoi might not be good enough.
Well, now you have your Ipeco. I mean, it's not what you were looking for, but you'll take it for sure.
For on a tile, Andre would love to draw, but not really call. Oh, that's a great draw. Now the Honitsu is looking very real for Andre.
Yeah, Ishan 10.
Great weights. Ipeco chance as well.
Basically anything pairing up there. Almost any Monzu tile is going to help.
I think maybe... Two-mon draw? Well, even that's Tempai too.
Tempai,
Boom.
I mean, you just take this one. You also have upgrades to Toy. That is not Tempai. It's one of the few tiles that wouldn't get you there. That is Tempai. Would Dama,
Yeet.
do you Dama and look for the upgrade? No, just going. And you can't even pawn this if you want.
Yeah, Pone drop 4 weight on Genputsu too? No, Leon doesn't want to risk anything here and all last.
Yeah, this is one where Leon's just not going to make this play. There are other people that would be crazy enough to do it.
I feel like one of those players is sharing the commentary booth.
You are correct about that. I would absolutely do it. And they would win on the 2. I mean, the draw order would have changed, but it's funnier this way. Oh, there's your Suwako Tempai!
Oh no! So now we have to watch to
Gee.
see where the East is. There's one in Jonathan's hand.
And there's our tempi for Andre.
Yeah, he passed the first one. I guess without the chi, Lucas would have sumoed.
This is tempi. What Chitoy across the way on the east. It is
Oh,
live. It's probably wondering whether they want to switch to it.
that's Chitoy to R2. Direct hit.
Which would be first place.
Oh
Yeah,
my
with the
goodness,
sticks,
it
I think that's
happened.
enough.
With the one stick and the two
Chitoy door
homba.
2 direct hit. Yeah, that's going to be
Sounds-
first place. Jonathan stealing it at the very end there for the 26.3. After all that mess coming into these series, these last two games, Jonathan has stormed all the way back to the positives.
Wow. As a reminder, this series started with a 4th place and a 3rd place for Jonathan. And in 2 games, he's not only negated those losses, but also jumped into positive position. Just crazy from Jonathan here.
Leon's going to get a 14.4. A little shocked in the deal, and I'm sure, but you'll take that, especially with how Leon's been playing this season. Let's see the 2-6-7-1. No really big swings either direction. Andre takes a minus 15.2. Will fall into the negatives, but still plenty of space before you get to the cut line. And Lucas continues dropping with a minus 25.5. He is now more than 100 points off of first place to win the division. But again, 8 games to go for these players.
Yeah,
And
Lucas.
we've seen a few of these tables get on there. I know one is 2 now are completely done. I believe one table has played a couple of their games, or a couple tables have played 2 of their games, and one has not yet started.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe a little bit of regret from Lucas not waiting on the Suanko, because that East would have been double run at that point.
But yeah,
But
that was rough, but really strong late play there by Jonathan in both games.
yeah, you can't really predict to draw so well, so perfectly. You have a good chance at just winning the hand. And it turns out that that Ricci stick was the difference between 3rd and 4th, which, as Lucas has noted, not a big deal in terms of his overall positioning. So, in all things said and done, this table finishes right around the middle of the pack here. 2, 3 above, one slightly below, but all in reasonable position through 4 sessions to remain for the players at this table.
All right, we could take a look at the list here. Simon, of course, in the top spot by quite a bit, but has not played his games this session. Dustin, Jonathan, and Zalong, all there fighting for the championship, and Viet's not out of it yet. Of course, you see the 8 games to play for everyone below that, and you're not out below that, but it's very difficult to catch up. And what we see here is what we see in almost every A1 season. The win is a little bit lower, but the deal ends a lot lower than league averages. And as a result, the EV ends up being between 60 and 90 almost every season consistently.
Of course, you mentioned that in A1, all these players playing for that top spot that will give you a seat at the championship table. This will be the championship, the first seat of the 2024 championship. The 2023 championship table is already set, and those games are actually going to be happening very soon as we wrap up tonight. Our next broadcast is going to be tomorrow evening, and that will be for the broadcast of the first 2 games of the 2023 championship table, starting at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. The 2 games that conclude that series will be played Sunday evening. So Thursday and Sunday we'll have the coverage of the championship table. You will not want to miss that for sure. That being said, we are finished with all of the games for the evening. No other tables are scheduled except for a very late one, but perhaps a little bit too late for us to grab coverage of. And so I want to thank everybody for tuning in to our regular Wednesday broadcast series. We, of course, will be, in addition to the championship games on Thursday and Sunday, continuing to showcase some of the games from around the league every Wednesday. You can tune into our socials to make sure you know when we go live. Follow us on Twitch. Check out our YouTube channel, and that will give you access to all of the former videos, all of the past broadcasts of this season and previous seasons. You could even watch the championship broadcast from last year if you want to warm up for this upcoming one. See what happened. See some of that Armel lore. And of course, if you're interested in participating in the league, you can certainly sign up for the upcoming spring season by visiting our website, americanreachy.org. The sign-up is one of the first things you'll see on the front page, and you have until March 11th, I believe, to fill out that registration. If you do sign out a little bit early, there's a chance that you can act as a substitute player if needed, even at the end of this season, and you can get access to all of the learning resources that we have available in the league Discord. So definitely visit americanreachy.org to sign up for next season and to follow all of the divisions of the American Ricci Mahjong League. Any final thoughts, Korik?
No, just flow up in South 4. Get hands some of those, and a really solid play by Jonathan in that last game with that Mawashi into the Chitoi Dama there. Worked really well, got the direct hit, and just very exciting play there.
Yeah, great plays from the A1 table as expected, and we look forward to seeing some more tomorrow night. See you all then. Have a good one, everybody.